South Adelaide was tipped to be the SANFL's big improvers this season. It hasn't really eventuated for them thus far. 2 wins and 5 losses. They have a chance in their home ground to break through this afternoon and get back in the hunt for a place in the finals against a club which has pretty much surprised everybody. North Adelaide has been a real success this season, and they, under Andrew Jarman, have proven that it doesn't take big names in order to get big wins. They've got 4 wins so far, just the 2 losses this season, and they've been tremendous. It's South Adelaide. Interesting performer. We'll get a look at him this afternoon, the former Kangaroo player, and something to look forward to. A highlight this afternoon. It's the other round, the other games in the round at least. Sturt, as we said, beating Port last night by 34 points. The Eagles against Norwood and Westies against Glenelg at Richmond to look forward to this afternoon. Mark Soderstrom, as usual, on the boundary. Fill us in with what's going on with the teams.
Well, thanks, Neil. Good afternoon, everyone. A couple of late changes for the Panthers. Jason Tawney's been claimed by the Crows. Rod Tregenza out with a groin. And coming into the side, Tom Tarrant and also Sean Daly. Coach Robert Pyman has acknowledged that today is an important game to keep South in touch with the top 5.
Certainly does. I mean, if you have a look, all of the teams below the top 2 are beating each other at the moment, so it makes an even competition, and it certainly makes this game very important for us to make sure that we stay in the race.
Last week you had an opportunity to see Central Districts. How big's the gap between South and Central?
Look, I think that Centrals are the standout team, and they have been. They've won 3 of the last 4 premierships, and the way they've established themselves over the last 10 years is fantastic. I think the Eagles will take it up to them at some stage, and I think that also Sturt and North are around the mark. Obviously, that's the aim for us, and that's where we're trying to get to.
Well, look at that South lineup, and Tregenza's out, so well done to Sodas for picking that up.
It's a very good blend of youth and experience there, with guys like Clay Sampson and Nigel Smart, obviously looking for big games, and we've got young players like like Damasi and Manhood coming through. Played a number of games now, and looking to build on that experience.
Now we go to the toss of the coin between the 2 clubs. Clay Sampson to the right there, Darryl Wintle and Brian Post doing the coin toss for us. So let's see what's happened. And Clay Sampson, as you see, kicking to the right of screen. Sodas will fill us in with what that means. He'll also tell us what's happening with North Adelaide this afternoon.
Well, the Roosters welcome back 2 quality players from AFL duties in Damon White from the Power, also Chris Laddams from the Crows, and Andrew Jarman. Well, he's been pumped with the way the Roosters have been performing.
Yeah, look, obviously I'm very pleased with where we are at the moment. I think we're ahead of schedule, to be honest with you, and look, I've been very, very pleased with the attitude of the players, and they've adapted to everything I've put in place. And look, the 2 sides that hurt us were obviously the Eagles and Centrals, and they've been spoken of around the traps that they're the 2 sides that could be very dangerous in the finals. But at the end of the day, there's 3 other spots available for a top 5, and I think today is very important for both clubs. South Adelaide haven't won a game down here, and they'll be raring to go in the first bounce. So we've got to be switched on and get into our work early.
Well, the Roosters, I guess, an example. You don't necessarily need big names to win big games.
No, that's right. I mean, the ins of Damon White and Laddams there will certainly help. Getting Huskis back has helped this year, but most of those other guys are homegrown talent.
Yeah, great to see. And so does, we mentioned that it's a little bit overcast, but what's the weather going to do for the rest of the afternoon? I guess you'll be hoping for no rain.
Well, certainly we hope there is no rain. And Neil, for the first time I've been at Noarlunga, not a lot of breeze about. And if you get a look at the windsock a little bit later, you'll see that it is very limp at the moment. We do have a top of 17 degrees expected, cool and cloudy conditions, but at the moment the breeze will not favour either side.
Thanks for that, Sodas, as we get a wide panoramic view of Noarlunga, and there's not a lot down here. You would have played here. What's it like as a ground in the atmosphere?
We normally certainly get that wind coming off the ocean, and it blows straight across the top of the hill. Today we're a bit lucky that it seems to be reasonably still. It's a lovely surface to play on. It's a tough ground when that wind is blowing, like I was saying, but it's a lovely surface and it's a nice wide ground, and yeah, it's not too bad overall.
And the bald head in the middle there, Nigel Smart obviously doing the talking. 276 game career with the Crows. Theoretically, it's not over yet. He'd be hoping for another go at AFL level.
No doubt. I mean, that's why he's still running around out here, and he would have a lot off of South Adelaide. So I'm sure that South Adelaide, on the other hand, would be really loving having him playing with them.
And from a North Adelaide point of view, they've done very well this season. There's no question about that. I don't think anybody could have predicted they would be this good this early under Jarman.
No, like Jarman said, it's maybe come on a little bit earlier than he would have thought, but all the North Adelaide people and associated with North Adelaide would be very happy with the way they're going, looking, like I've said, to consolidate that spot in the top 5 and push for only their 3rd finals appearance in recent history.
It is an amazing turnaround. Jarman coming into North Adelaide, the player that he was at North Adelaide, all that respect, didn't seem to happen, unfortunately, for Gary McIntosh in the Norwood example.
No, I guess it's a similar example if you weigh it up. Maybe, you know, Andrew Jarman's got something else. He's maybe grabbed something out of the players that he's got and the stock that he's got that Gary McIntosh has been unable to do at Norwood.
Well, it'll be a very interesting clash this afternoon. As we said, twice in the last 4 meetings here at Noarlunga, they finished as a draw, and I can tell you that just to keep on that theory, in the reserves, it was a draw as well this afternoon. 14-10-94 apiece for North Adelaide and South Adelaide. So plenty to look forward to. Here's Michael Maney with the first bounce.
Thanks very much, Neil. 7th versus 3rd in this competition, round 9. And the last time they met, it was at Prospect. And North Adelaide went down by 108 points. So they can prove that one side can get on top and have big wins. And as the boys mentioned just a moment ago, a couple of draws in the last 4 encounters. Be interesting to see the way they line up. Damon White, what an important player. There's Carey, Andrew Carey for South Adelaide. Another new player into this club. Ricky McGowan on the left there. Former Central District star. Has been drafted into this side this year by Andrew Jarman. Darryl Wintle to his right. He's missed a lot of football over the years, Darryl Wintle, but they desperately need him in form. And as Mark Soderstrom said, overcast but calm day at Noarlunga Oval. Bar Williams with ball in hand. Round 9 of SANFL football. North up against South. Bradley over the top, ball pinched out of the middle. That was Hanbury. And the mark's been taken by Damassi. Mark Damassi, we know he's a pretty good kick, knows how to kick a goal. He's about 70 out, gets a lead. Up goes Cobb, ball hits the deck. Manhood in after the footy. He's got a quick kick out of there, taken by Smart, curls it round the body. High kick, Tarrant there, ball knocked away by Huskis. Damon White. Got the kick to half-back. Player just going for it there was She. Couldn't get it. They dive on the footy. Laddams. No one can get a clear position. Hanby there. Umpire will call for it. The early attacking being done by the Panthers. Ricky McGowan. A lot of talk by McGowan. That's what he's in the side for. Apart from his exquisite ability. Free kick out of the ruck will go to South Adelaide. It'll come back to Mark Bradley for a push. Bradley about 60 from goal, number of leads. He goes to Hedge in the pocket, and the big man's taken the mark in front of the number 17 for the Roosters in Ray Ebel, Thomas Hedge. Just having a look. So kicked a couple of goals from a couple of games. Hemmed on the boundary. Take a good kick from here, right in front of the scoreboard. The shoulder strap. Hedge from about 40. Good looking kick. He's drawn it back. Lovely kick by the big man. No, he hasn't. To behind. Well, it was clapped through. And a behind. Good looking kick. The goal umpire gave us every indication, Ben, that was a sausage roll.
Well, I was with you there, Michael. I thought that went through. But that would have been the start the South are after, and they're looking pretty good at the moment.
And they talk about, in the AFL, they talk about their Sky Cam, but I'll tell you, nothing gets you closer than goal umpire cam from the ABC. So the short pass in, Ivans taking the mark with the headgear on. North Adelaide look to build from the back. Huskis, how does a man with that much experience and that much talent find that much space? Well, he's mucked himself up. Tarrant has got the loose ball around the corner with the kick, and it will finish out on the full. Goal umpire in perfect position to signal that, and White will take the free kick. Brett White, the vice-captain of North Adelaide. Under siege at the moment. Huskis not all that happy at Jared Wright being able to creep over the mark like that, but umpire said it was all fair. We're still waiting on Brett White to bring the ball back in. Finally, he kicks it high in front of the grandstand. Bradley in the middle of the pack. It comes to the front. Well roved by Smith on the left foot, inside 50 from behind Manhood. Couldn't take the chest mark. Ball on the ground. Damasi taken high. Free kick. The umpire paid it. It was against Scott Sutherland.
Damasi looking as though he's getting at the football well at the start here. This will be his second touch. This time he should go back and finish off and try and kick the goal for South and get them away.
Interesting, Ben, to look at South Adelaide. A couple of players, Manhood is one of them, who would normally spend a lot of time in defence up forward this afternoon as Damasi lines up, keeps it low and hard and strong and straight. South Adelaide, the first of the afternoon. This time, there's no doubt, the crowd was right and the goal umpire agreed.
Great start there for South Adelaide with that goal. Damasi finished beautifully. We see a fantastic crumb and a good turn. Damasi presenting himself well. Huskis maybe could have gone at the football a little bit, and then Damasi getting the free kick for that arm over the shoulder.
Good start to the Panthers. Inside 53 times. North yet to get it past the centre line. Awkward bounce by the umpire. Go in hard. No one can take the footy away. Ball booted forward. That was Webb. Mark's been taken by that man who kicked the goal a moment ago, Mark Damasi. And he's about 60 from goal. The lead came from Hedge, but he's very deliberate about this kick. No breeze to speak of. Maybe slightly at his back. Long kick. He's got the distance, but going for the distance, he has just pulled it away to the left. Let's go to the North Bench with sodas.
Sean Gatto and Callum Road pedalling away on the exercise bikes there. They're also joined by Tyson Radetti.
Again, Huskis with the white boots, bringing the ball back into play for North Adelaide. Been a good start by South. They'd be very happy so far. Huskis will be called almost certainly to bring it in quickly on the umpire. In fact, he beat the umpire to it, goes wide. Mark there taken by
a little bit too wide, Neil.
Too wide in the end, was it?
It was.
It's a long way out there, and he did run out of space. Hard to believe. So South Adelaide with a free kick. Short passes on. That man Damasi. Ian Mogridge, welcome to the microphone this afternoon. Tell me, how many stats has this guy got already?
Yeah, this is number 4, Neil.
He's been a live wire up forward. Inconsistent sometimes in his career. He's spent some time in the twos. This afternoon, he's really started well. That kick looks a bit shallow. Umpire agrees. Just away to the left side, and we'll have a quick look at the South Bench while we've got the opportunity, Sodas.
Yes, we have Mark Miller, Ben Warren and Sean Daly, who's come into the side for Jason Tawney, who was taken by the Crows.
Daly there's got a shiner on the left eye. Battle scar, Ben. Had a few of those in your day, I'm sure.
No doubt, as I did a couple of weeks ago, my first run here with the broken nose. We look at Adam Huskis bringing it back in to play.
Lovely shiner. Huskis kicks it long. White. That is a good mark. Terrific player. Unlucky to be out of the power side. Kicks to Rowe. Another good player. Jason Rowe. We saw him in about round 3 or 4 at Prospect. Carted off on a stretcher, but he seems to be okay. Kicks to the wing. Over the back, Bennett has given away a free kick. And it'll go to Grokey. Also on Port Adelaide's rookie list. Kicks it to half forward. Over the back, Bradley. Kick behind play. Did well. Got it away to Sampson. Sampson to Wilson, the former Norwood player. Tries to draw in Hargraves. Goes short. Finds Smith. They're running out of half back to Smart. Smart with a player on the overlap is Webb. They're using it well. Down the wing. A bounce. Kick long. It was by Hanby. Huskis did the flying. Cobb stayed down. Damasi in everything. Another stat. Wasn't quite good enough for Hedge. And that ball's been knocked out of bounds deliberately from where we sit. But the umpire right on the spot said throw it in. Got to be consistent with this, Ben, don't they?
That's right. I mean, I guess putting it up the line there, it could have been either way, but certainly no doubt in my mind about the intentions of Jason Rowe.
Certainly did have a player in his vision he was knocking it to. Hedge knocks it down. Brett White takes it to the line for the Roosters.
Be an interesting matchup today, looking at Damasi and Rowe go at each other. Damasi with those first few easy or early kicks, and we have a look at Andrew Jarman on the phone, trying to put a few changes into play already.
It's pretty calm. Andrew Jarman, boundary throw in. Hedge got a good knock away. Cobb worked it to King. King taken over the line. The number 3 for South Adelaide. in the midfield, the former Richmond player.
So early days in this match, but South Adelaide with all the advantages. They've gone into the forward 50 consistently. Hedge works his way to the front. Just brings it to the front again. All trapped in there. I don't think that's going anywhere. Jared Wright, former Woodville West Torrens player before he went to Brisbane. Spent a couple of years with the Lions before returning to Adelaide and now wearing the Panthers colours. Ball down again inside that forward 50 for South. Hedge knocked it down. Sutherland gets tackled heavily by Manhood. Sutherland just questioning that tackle, perhaps thinking it was a little high. We'll get a bounce down regardless. Again, Hedge getting the tap down, this time effectively, but Damasi, good luck trying to get through there. Mark Damasi. We'll get another bounce down. Try and clear it out, Michael.
I'll do my best, Neil. Been a bit stop-start. It's been a bit like that. A lot of players around the football. The umpires maybe they'll clear it out with a free kick. Griffin just making some space. Ball thumped forward by Nigel Smart, out of bounds. No breeze to speak of, but so does, just looking at that windsock there, I think it may be going slightly to right of screen, if anywhere.
Yeah, it is starting to drift a little bit that way, but still, it shouldn't be that significant a breeze at all, Michael.
9 points the difference. South have done all the attacking. So far, 5-1 inside 50. Ball knocked away by White, taken by King from the pocket. The kick just straight away. Huskus palmed it down, and the ball has gone through for one behind. That was Smith getting a quick boot on it in the pocket for the Panthers. It's 10 points to the Panthers. They lead by that margin.
Starts to become a worry, I guess, in some ways for the Panthers. They've had so much of the ball. When does it become wasteful? The way they're kicking a goal. We'll get a chance now with a bounce down. No, holding the ball. Another free kick to the Panthers. Here's Bennett receiving the hand pass. Looks inside 50. Kicks it up long. Manhood flew in the middle of the pack. Couldn't bring it down. Cobb on the ground. He couldn't take it. A little bit of ping pong. Finally comes out to Webb. Off the left foot from 40 metres. Webb has straight it. Another minor score. And we asked that question of Ben Knights. When does it become too wasteful?
That's 5 points and 5 probably gettable kicks. And as you say, we're just not happy with that kick. And so he shouldn't be running to an open goal from 30 metres out. That's really what South would have loved, to get another couple of goals ahead.
McGowan just has a player on the overlap in Huskus. King does well, just holds him up. Good tackle. That provides the turnover. Damasi, good bump. A little bit high maybe. Cobb taken to the ground by White. Good tackling in there. Good, hard, tough footy. And the umpire will bounce it.
It's all right, wasn't it? Trouble was
Tom Tarrant. He doesn't mind.
It was a good bump.
He doesn't mind. Been suspended a couple of times, Tom Tarrant, this year. In the reserves as well, which has been a bit tough. Inside 50 for the Panthers. Hedge got it down. Ball kicked away. Thumped away by Ebel. Webb couldn't get it. Cobb's in there. Plenty of tackling. Ugly game of football, Neil Cross. See what you can do.
Well, the important thing from the Panthers' point of view is they lead by 11 points. Cobb there just walking away with the long sleeves. Another player who I guess is more known as a defender. Ball bounced down. White went high. Hedge judged it better. Brought it to ground. Ivan's out of the pack. Scrubby old kick. Didn't drop it properly. At least he's got it up towards the centre. Hargraves over the ball. Now well trapped by Jeffries. Jeffries inside with the hand pass. Ebert through half forward with the kick. Not the greatest of kicks. Gee, it's scrappy. Finally, back to Hargraves again. Off the left foot. Not too bad. And finally, we have some movement up forward as Uni takes the mark. Looks around quickly. And up towards centre half forward, punched away, Winsell at the front. The captain snags a goal, and doesn't that hurt South Adelaide? All the play has been with the Panthers. First foray inside the 50 for North Adelaide, and bang, they get a goal.
It was a good hit on the lead. It's just a fortuitous fall, front and centre. Well snapped there by Darryl Winsell, and that really does hurt South Adelaide when they've had all the play so far inside their forward 50, just been unable to to put it through the big sticks, and goes straight up for almost the first time it got within the forward 50 of North Adelaide, and they finish off with a goal.
Lovely snap by the skipper. North have their first goal. In ruck, She and Bradley. Bradley over the top, goes down to Laddams. Quick kick onto the boot. Oh, lovely mark taken by Kruger. Just hooked it in one hand, goes to Griffin. Griffin's kick out to the wing. It's a foot race. Smith, plenty of toe. Ivan's there with the headgear. In comes Smart. Just collars him. Ball just jars out of there. Nigel Smart's got it again. Just a wobbly old ball. I think it's gone out of bounds on the full. Just threw it on the boot there. Nigel.
Poor disposal from someone with that much experience.
North take it out and switch it to the grandstand side of the ground. Here's Chris Laddams, the Crow. Well-weighted kick. Gum couldn't get on the end of it. Taken by Webb, who shares it with Hanby. Hanby's got a man in short in Tarrant, who's got to go in the middle of a two-on-one contest, but the kick was pretty good. Tarrant's got a man floating down in King, who had a look, and Eagle's going to give away 50 or 25. Take your pick. And this will bring Clinton King right in front of goal. He was within distance as they do a bit of push and shove. Nick Manhood, he doesn't mind a scrap. King's just floated forward and will just tap it through. So the answering goal comes from Clinton King. And if you're Andrew Jarman, I think number 17 may get a message in the next minute or so.
No doubt. We have a look here at the very late and very unnecessary bump by Ray Abel. And as you so well said, the runner is out at the moment on his way. Passing that message on. That's South's second goal. And they'll be looking to push and keep working with that pressure that they've put on so far and keep sending it forward. A little bit of push and shove between a couple of the South and North boys. A little bit of niggle in this game at the moment.
There's a lot at stake, especially for South Adelaide. Disappointed this season with the number of recruits they had. Ivans was hit high, the umpire said. So he'll take the free kick off to the left foot of Laddams. Was going to go to his right foot, then realised which foot was actually better. Down toward Hargraves, knocked to the front. Jason Rowe overran it, came back again, picked it up, got through two, got through almost three. Hand pass out to Huskus, takes his time, and that's because he has time. Huskus squares the ball, awkward kick. Finally, it'll come to South Adelaide. They'll get an opportunity to break away. Hanby's been good so far. That wasn't great. Ivans with the rebound, straight up in front of goal with the kick from behind. Nice mark taken by Bradley.
Huskus has hurt Neil. He's rolled an ankle in that last bit of play just a minute ago.
Well, that's no good. Webb now for South. Down the line he goes with the kick. Doesn't find his man in Kruger. Backing into the pack hard was Carey. Ball to ground and South Adelaide again. Smart just hooks it around the corner, belts it long. King went back. It was too far for him. Gum, good name for a tagger, you'd think. Gum, he'd stick to people, wouldn't he? Just have another look at the smother of Hanby in the middle just a few moments ago. The ball's pushed wide now. Sutherland, a lot of space out there. He must be nearly on the boundary. Just puts it up to McGowan, the experienced one, having his first touch of the afternoon, I think, Moggy.
No, number 2, Neil.
Number 2?
Hughes just coming off, or trying to come off, Neil.
Yeah, he's just waiting for the trainers to organise, or at least Andrew Jarman to organise who's going to come on, as Laddams beats one from 50, goes with the left foot. Laddams, very, very long kick and very close. Mark taken there and hand passed off by Bennett to Bradley.
Bradley, woeful kick. Well done. She gets it back to Ebel. Ebel just kicks to the pocket, just set it to the top of the head of Uni. King. It's back to Sampson. They work it at the back. Sampson's quick kick finds Webb, just hemmed in on the boundary line. We saw Webb in the first game of the year here at Noarlunga against West Adelaide play a roll up forward and then go back. His kick to the man who is mainly a defender in Kim Cobb, who's been playing up forward, shares it with Smart. You'd think he'd thump this ball long. He does. On a long lead is Hedge. They grapple. Well done. Ball knocked away. Taken by Manhood. Good vision to Damasi. Was he tackled? Umpire said no. Just impeded. Good shepherding off the ball. White goes to Ebert at half back. Doesn't have much ahead of him, Ebert. Decides to switch it across. They've got some numbers on the outer side of the ground. Breaking is White. White's got a man on the wing. He'll go to him. It's Wintle. The kick just too fierce for him, but it'll set. He's got plenty of acreage out there. He can run the ball right through Darryl Wintle. Decides to go for a quick kick. Hargraves, a real worm burner. He's just picked that up off the ground, and Hargraves will have a shot for goal. The switch of play in modern-day football, Ben, is pretty crucial.
It is. You saw how it opened up there. We see Adam Hustis on the bench getting some treatment. That's a big loss. This is the where he kicked it across to the middle of the ground. Oh, no, there it is. The right ankle just tweaked it, rolled it over there on a bit of dewy grass. We've seen getting treated. That'd be a big loss for North Adelaide if Adam Hustis doesn't return today.
Hargraves. He's kicked 17 goals so far. He's just sprayed that away across the face for a behind.
There's that right ankle of Adam Hustis just going over, and you see him register that he twisted that ankle straight away, then he squared up the kick, and as we said, off the ground at the moment.
Ball long from South Adelaide. Smart, the target in the middle of the pack. He brings it to ground and then butters up. Umpire could have paid in the back then. It's play on finally. Peter Williams will come in and say, I'll have it, fellas. Don't get too narky about it.
Peter Williams back from a resort.
Is he?
Back from a resort. We'll fill you in. The television program on commercial TV.
No.
He was part of. Was that him?
I can't talk about that. There is a South Adelaide player involved though. In something like that. Here's a ball wide. Ivans with the mark. He backs up from the wing. North Adelaide have wrested some control of this match, having been under siege early on. That's not the greatest of kicks. Almost the turnover. Sampson on the mark and Brett White taking possession for North Adelaide. So he breaks. They'll try and go down the middle with this kick. In towards centre half forward. Hanby, or rather Bradley from behind, takes a strong mark. He's had a few of those already. He'll want a hand pass, you'd think, and he does so. That's his preferred option. Wilson, then wide to Bennett. Took more marks in the SANFL than any other player last year. Bennett goes wide as well. They're out of defence successfully, South Adelaide. Here's Miller. He goes short as well. Wright with the mark. They're still only on the wing. And they are going the long way home at the moment, South Adelaide. Signal to kick long. He does kick long. Over the back, Daly. Opposed to Jeffries, who took it under his arm and then was quite happy to just be forced over the boundary line. Just a reminder, at quarter time, we'll have a look at the match last night between Port Adelaide and Sturt. And for the Double Blues fans, it was a pretty good night. In fact, there were 3,800 at the Adelaide Oval last night on what was a very cold night in Adelaide. Watching that 34-point victory for Sturt. As I said, the highlights at quarter time. We'll get another bounce down inside 50.
Good start to the Panthers. They lead by 10 points, but they have missed some opportunities. Will that come back to haunt them later in the game? Just ticked into the 21-minute mark, and there's Adam Hustis, who's endeavouring to get that scrapped and get back on the field. He still looks a bit proppy. Taken by Webb. Wright. Long kick. I think it's a goal. Well, he just found some space in the middle of that pack. Wright threw it on the boot, and it sailed through for a lovely goal. That is what South Adelaide needed. They need to kick another couple before the end of the quarter.
And Sodas, what's the story down there with Adam Hustis?
Well, he has tested his ankle, Neil, jogged a little bit, and he's gone into the rooms. They're looking to re-strap it, may even put a little jab in there, an injection, to see whether Adam will take any further part in the game.
Just another look at how it happened. Also simple.
Simple stuff.
Well, it's been simple stuff for South too. They've finally managed to kick straight. So 3-5, plays 1-1. In the middle. We get another bounce down. Umpire quick to come in and stop play. Just off the ball, we see a little bit of a collision there between Tarrant and Rowe. They're just going at it. Here's Wright. As I said, back from Brisbane. Here's Bradley with a tap. Bit of aerial ping pong. And we'll get another bounce down now. So later stages of this opening quarter. It's been a pretty good one for South Adelaide, certainly for a while. They were very dominant for the first 5 to 8 minutes. North Adelaide then had their period, and in the end it's been South. It's been able to do the business on the scoreboard. Long punch forward from Bradley. Trapped well by Wright. Bounces to his feet. Has to get rid of it now to Smart. Smart then wide with the hand pass. King wants the bounce. Gets the bounce. Looks inside. Lovely little stab pass. Maybe not inside, but certainly down the ground a bit. And then another one finds Daly. So good work from South Adelaide. Mark Miller was the player in the middle of that chain of short passes, and finally Daly will line up from only about 25 metres out straight in front.
Looking to really put some dominance on the scoreboard now with the dominant play that they've had this first quarter, looking to put some distance between themselves and North Adelaide, obviously. Look, this is the sort of goal that you should kick, and has gone back and done so.
Yeah, good result for South Adelaide. The margin out to 22 points now, and that has reflected finally on scoreboard what their dominance has been in general play in the first quarter.
Oh, exactly right. I mean, they were wasteful early. They kicked those 4 or 5 points in the first 10 minutes, but since then, you know, like you said, North have taken a bit of the football away from them, but South have wrestled it back, and that dominance is showing on the score at the moment.
Realistically, it could have been out to around 35 points, 36 points. In the middle, ball hits the deck. Gum can't get through for North Adelaide. Wrapped up in the tackle. Well done by Wright. He's a strong player, strong upper body. And just bounces up. Another bounce. Knocked down Bradley. Motlop. Just got it out. South, oh, that's too high. Griffin, no, umpire said he's going to come in and bounce at umpire Williams. Just having a look. And, oh, line ball. Bradley knocks it down. Well done by Smith. Got it back to Kruger. He needs a shepherd here, Kruger. Good enough to get away. Scrubby old kick to King, who's got to do some of his best work to keep it in. Terrific play. Got a call from Kruger, who went down. Away comes Daly, who kicked the last goal. Just kicks it high. Manhood's there. Wright tries to tap it to Hedge. Back to Wright, the old 1-2. Back inboard. Webb, we know he can kick a goal. Good looking kick. Rowe! Read it beautifully and just cut it off. They love to switch, North Adelaide. And the kicking's got to be good. Rowe just kicks it out in front. Chopped off by Carey. Smith working hard. Well done, Motlop. Just chopped off the kick. Wintle needs to get clear. Uses it well to Ivans. Ivans just boots it forward to one-on-one. Sampson knocks away from Uni. Well done, Sampson. Showing no ill effects of that knee injury after a reconstruction. Smith, good body work on Ivans. Takes the mark. That is terrific play by Smith. Been impressed with his game so far. We'll get some stats. Well done, Moggy. Right on the ball to Daly, who wasn't on the ball. Couldn't take the mark. Back in again. The handball over, looking for Miller. Look away, handball to King. Back to Smart. Smart wanted to give it off again. He's just about inside 50. Kicks it long. Warren flies. Can't take the mark. Knocked away by Rowe. Forced through for one behind.
They're certainly finishing this quarter off a little bit better than North. And North will just be looking at holding on for the next few minutes, regrouping at quarter time, and then trying to get back on the scoreboard and try and put that pressure back on South. But at the moment, South certainly dominant and looking good.
Well, White taking over the kicking duties from Huskus as the ball goes in long. Smith at the back, couldn't get control. White could. That's Damon White. Off to Wintle. Wintle in turn, the short, sharp pass. And gee, North Adelaide looked good when they moved the ball fast. Again, inside with the hand pass. Motlop off the left foot, long and hard and high. Hargraves under it. Wilson comes late. Around the corner from Laddams. What a snap! Or is it? Right on the goal umpire, it's all clear. And Chris Laddams, hand and foot so quickly, and a goal for North Adelaide. And gee, for one of the few times in this quarter, the build-up was as North Adelaide wanted it.
Exactly right. As you see Andrew Jarman walking on the boundary there. The sport by Wilson was good. Laddams just using that speed to grab a hold of the football, knowing where the goals are. And I guess that could be some of his experience coming into play, just having that feel where the goals are, turned around, quick snap, and finished it off. And wasn't Chris Laddams happy with that goal, his first of the afternoon.
Lovely snap by Laddams. We know he's a good man from the angle. We've seen him kick a few of those in AFL football. Ball hits the deck. Well done, Daly, who's had some important touches, to Massey, who's just gone a little bit off the ball. Good handball. Carey got it away to Massey for another. Sutherland just had the sun in his eyes there for a moment, and some of the crowd and the South players tried to con an out of bounds on the full there. There's Andrew Jarman. Be reasonably satisfied with the way it's all gone. That goal by Laddams really has patched it up a bit for the Roosters. Down, Motlop. Couldn't get through. Taken by King. King's kicked one. He's kicked another. Well, he just pounced on that loose ball, Clinton King, and just found himself in the goal face and booted it through.
Clinton King picking up his second goal for the quarter here. He's actually been really great for South so far in this first quarter. He's been a live wire. After coming across from Richmond, I guess South are expecting a lot from him this year. Maybe today's his day where he really turns it on.
7 possessions, 2 goals.
Back in the centre. Good work by South Adelaide. 11 scoring shots to 3. And they've gone inside 50, 14-7. So it's been a dominant quarter. Bradley down. A late goal for the Roosters would be handy. Griffin in there hard on Heath Uni. And another bounce. There's the Panthers bench. Kim Cobb in the middle of that lot. Hanby and also Tom Tarrant having a rest. Bradley thumps it down for South Adelaide. Ivans and Smith. Smith's been lively. He's a ball getter, is Smith. The kick across the back. And siren for quarter time. And a good quarter of football. South Adelaide 5-6-36. North 2-1-13. South lead by 23 points.
Going down to have a listen now to Robert Pyman in the South Adelaide huddle.
Stop running now, boys. Work hard. Right, excellent work there. Some really good stuff, Mark. We're at Braddles. Right, fantastic.
Showing the way, too. Showing the way.
Leading the way. Fantastic stuff. You get the opportunity to go on your preferred foot, just do that, all right? But otherwise, fantastic. Edgy, right, good stuff. Hopefully we'll get a height advantage out of you up there, all right? So if you get the opportunity to run and jump, do that, okay? Nige, just back yourself and run with the footy. Right? So excellent stuff. Get shots on goal. That's what we've asked for from our defenders. Shots on goal, haven't we? Some good, really good stuff there. All right. Ivans has ended up with 9, so just be aware of that. Okay, in that quarter there. Right. Overall, some really good stuff. You're prepared to throw the ball around. You're prepared to run. That's what I've asked from you this quarter. Don't let them down. Don't let them back into the game and let yourselves down this quarter. Right. Scores go back to 0-0. Scores go back to 0-0. Just have a look at this. All right. On ball, right? Forward stoppage. There's a lot of stoppages over in that forward 50, correct?
90 seconds.
We ended up setting up 2 quarterbacks, right? Ended up setting up 2 quarterbacks. Don't need to do that. One of the on-ballers or one and a half backs, make sure your man doesn't seep out the back. Come and put yourself in a dangerous position, right? Smack bang in the corridor and tell all the other forward line players to piss off
very
every
happy
space.
with the way South Adelaide did dominate that term, just giving a couple of goals up to North Adelaide there. Chris Laddams getting one just to try and keep the Roosters in touch. Andrew Jarman unhappy, as you would well imagine, and his line with the boys is that you're playing dumb football, need to get the ball, run and move it around a lot more, but the Roosters not very happy. Adam Huskis has had his ankle re-strapped and they will give him another go to see if he will be okay to play again now.
Thanks for that, Sodas. Quick look through those goal kickers. Clinton King, as we mentioned in the call, with 2 in that opening term, and they did have 11 shots at goal to 3, so able to dominate for a large part of that first term, and that's reflected, I guess, in those stats. More kicks and more handballs for South Adelaide, and the inside 50s 2-1.
Exactly right, 14-7 there. I mean, double inside 50s, and we saw that. Just South Adelaide a little bit wasteful with the football.
Now, as we go into the second term, here's Michael Maney.
23-point lead to South Adelaide. They kick with a slight breeze, ever so slight, to right of screen, but didn't quite make the most of their opportunities. Jeffries, didn't call him too much. That's too high. We get a free kick. The former Eagle, who made his way back to the Roosters after a few years under Ron Fuller. Long kick by Jeffries, hoping for a mark. Well, Uni just about went off the ground, taken by Sampson. Sampson uses Smith. Another possession for him. To King, who got it to Hanby. So they work it out of half-back. Carey just knocked off the kick by Ebert. That was good work. Ball flicks out the back, taken by Jeffries. Short kick, Gum. About 3 or 4 kicks out from goal. Spears it to McGowan, just inside 50. So the Roosters looking good early. McGowan's quick kick finds Uni, just went 20 metres. And Uni will have a shot for goal. And I think it is the scoring end to right of screen. And the Roosters making the most of this early one forward. Heath Uni, who was plagued with injury last year with a groin, I think a bit of osteitis pubis, but from 40 metres out directly in front has hooked the kick. And as South Adelaide did in that first term, Ben Knights, they need to, as they didn't do, they need to make the most of their opportunities.
Exactly right. If North are going to put the pressure back on South this quarter, and it looks like this is a scoring end down here at right of screen, then they have to take those opportunities. And, you know, league footballers are expected to kick goals, and, I mean, we see it in the AFL sometimes, we see it here. We just need to kick the goals when they're there.
Adam Huskus is back on the ground. He's picking up Jared Wright at half-back. The word from the South Adelaide bench was to Jared just to keep running and try and run Adam around, but he does look very properly. I was surprised if he lasts the entire game.
It's be hard to see how he's going to see out the game. That right ankle looked fairly bad as the kick comes back in from North Adelaide. The road there by Smith for South. Hanby shares it again with Smith. Well taken off the left foot. He's got an option down the ground. Sampson with the mark. Inboard quickly. It was Wright, in fact. So he's running Huskus a merry dance at the moment. Good mark there by Damon White at half-back. Huskus in reply. Off the right foot with the kick. That looked tentative. It was. And that, of course, is the injured ankle he's trying to kick off there. South Adelaide down to half forward, or rather North Adelaide down to half forward. Uni inside 50 with the kick. Lovely looking kick. Punch to the front, and we'll get a bounce down. That ball is not coming out. Well roved at the front by Shee. We'll get a bounce down.
Good fast movement into their forward 50 there, North Adelaide.
Here's Hargraves opposed to Wilson. And a couple of jumpers coming over the top. One of them was Bradley for South Adelaide. Ball loose. Sampson with the hand pass quickly to Bennett. Clears the 50 zone, but that's about all. Ivans will come against Wright. They bounce off each other. It comes to Sutherland, high and long and wide, out of bounds. Wright was shaken up by that as it's play on now. Hanby comes out of his defensive area, can kick long, does so. Down towards Smart. Smart in best position and over the top though. Lovely mark taken by Gum. Gum in field, quick kick to Uni. Had a couple of stats to start this quarter. Uni inside 50. Ladham's great pace. I swear he started a yard behind his man, and within 4 yards he was in front of him by 2. Does that maths add up? Just have a look at Gum's mark on the wing. Gee, Smart looked in best position when that ball was in the air, and then Gum flying across, taking the mark. So North Adelaide, chance to do what South Adelaide couldn't. We get a great view of this from low down. Right Cumming, our cameraman, doing the job on the boundary line. And we see that's just to the right. I think it's flown away, and it has. Disappointing result for North Adelaide from that sort of angle and that sort of shot.
Yep, Chris Ladham's missing another opportunity for North Adelaide. So, like South, mirror image of South in the first quarter, they've missed a couple of opportunities.
21 points the difference. Long kick out. Target Bradley. Tried to knock it on for Bennett. Well done by Jeffries, just kicks it to the hot spot. There's about 5 South Adelaide players up against Hargraves, and Carey was the man to take the mark. Hargraves never in the contest. Webb shorts it up to Hanby, who's really starting to get some football. The former Glenelg player just kicks it long. Ball spills to Gum, can't get through Warren, and also Carey there, I think it was, who finally got the handball away. In fact, it was Miller. Mark Miller. Another bounce. Good start by North Adelaide. They're just one behind in the inside 50s now, so they have gone forward in this term. Ball spills out. No one can grab clean possession. Sampson in there, the skipper for the Panthers. Another ball up. Ben's been a pretty tight match. Plenty of good tackling, hard physical contest. There's the bench.
It certainly has, and as I was about just to say, Ivan's looking very proper. He had a bit of a collision before the South Adelaide player, and I think he's got a bit of a knock to the hip, so just coming off now, a very physical game.
Next, Dr. Knights. Smart. Overran it, went back, got it, overran it again, stolen by Jeffries. Jeffries kicks long. Wilson just knocked it forward. Well played, Bradley out the back to Bennett, who's got a couple running for him. This ball might just beat Sampson over. Couldn't hook it in before it rolled out of bounds. And Nigel Smart, how have you seen him so far, Ben? Just overran the footy a couple of times there, but he's had a bit of it.
Yeah, look, he has had a bit of it. His first few possessions in the first quarter are a bit wasteful. He snapped around his body, he missed a handball, but he has got a lot of the football, and that's certainly a big positive.
Laddams, McGowan share the ball with Wintle. The shot from the captain just astray. And again, wasteful from North Adelaide in the same way as what we've witnessed from South Adelaide kicking to right of screen in the opening term. Wait for the ball to come back in. That margin, 20 points in favour of South Adelaide. Bad kick.
Good kick.
Kruger. Just on the 50 mark. Kruger goes short. Bennett took the mark. Jeffries couldn't get there in time to put some pressure on. In the middle, Hanby got his hand up. But Wintle comes and shuts him down. So Bennett looks around. The switch could be on. Yes, Sampson out the back. Sampson looks now to the far side of the ground. Wilson, the next man in line. Wilson with the mark, then in turn down the line to Carey. Carey in a bit of space. Now they've run out of shorts that are actually on offer. Carey goes long with the kick. Wright made good pace, made good ground.
Good kick.
Just takes the mark inside the boundary line. Far side of the ground, right forward, half forward flank. Hanby, he made good ground too. Umpire said that was too high. Sutherland was the man. Now he might turn it over. He does. Hanby, not happy with the attention from Sutherland, and as you can see, Scott Sutherland not hurt by that collision. Strangely enough, I think he was acting, got away with it. Now, hang on, there's whistles everywhere. Didn't go back behind his mark. So North Adelaide very pleased with that piece of, well, it wasn't anywhere near Academy Award acting. More like what you'd see from Logie Award winners. Anyway, ball down towards half forward. Smart in the middle of the pack, too slow. That was a throw. Umpire called play on regardless. Smart then put a tackle on. We will get a bounce down behind play. Ray Ebel down and not looking the best at the moment, limping away. May have got one slightly below the stomach and slightly above the thigh.
One tends to do a lot of puffing and panting when that happens. Hanby's kick out to the wing. Gum held without the footy. He'll have to come back. And there's some advice from the for the umpire. Short kick, chopped off by Bradley. Use the football if you've got a slight advantage. Cross to Bennett.
Getting a lot of the football.
Smith just lost Gatto there a moment ago. Gatto's gone onto the ground to try and quell Smith. Taken by Hedge. Good agility for a big man. Kicks it forward. Ball thumped away. At the foot, front and square was White. Wintle. Laddams. In that chain was Jeffries a moment ago. A man in plenty of space on the outer side. Booting it long. In that pack, Hargraves taken by Wilson. Over the back. South just need to use it better. Well done. They work it out of half back. That's Griffin. King's got it on the wing. Just shorts it up, running with a flight manhood. Lovely mark. Away with a footy. He's 45 out, just kicks it long, and Wright, did he get it? Boot on, I think he's kicked a goal. The kick to the square was centimetre perfect, and Wright just on the end of it, and the Panthers kick a goal against the Tide.
A gutsy mark there by Manwood as he ran back. The tackle just had to be held there, and we just missed the mark there. No, here it comes. See the mark? Oh, no, that's afterwards, so sorry about that. As we see the goal finished off there, Jared Wright just, I reckon, dropped that mark, and be very happy he got a foot to it, got that left foot to it. As we see, yep, just spilt it. And that's his second goal for the afternoon.
That goal coming from South, first inside 50 this quarter. North have been inside 9 times without getting a goal.
Andrew Carey just off for a breather, coming onto the ground in the centre, Sean Daly.
Ball back in the middle, Bradley with the tap. We'll get in a secondary bounce here possibly, yes. Benny Warren riding his man in Jeffries into the turf. Umpire said that was all fair and legal. The margin drifting out, 26 points now in favour of South Adelaide. Smart took the ball off the back again, just losing control at the vital moment. Here's Motlop, dummies, 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 then gets clear off the left foot, inside half forward, not the greatest of kicks. Run over the line by Laddams. So we'll get a throw in the far side of the ground. The breeze, whatever it is favouring apparently that end of the ground, Siders.
Yeah, Neil, it is very slight. I think it's more the downhill that's favouring the team kicking to the right.
We'll wait on the throw in. Bradley will go at it. Opposed to Shee. Bradley, I think, got the better of it. King opposed to Motlop. He got the better of it. King, no doubt about that. Great hand pass out, released Hanby. Hanby with a bounce and then looks up towards half forward. Elects to go inside to Smart. Backs himself and runs. Then the hand pass over the top to Marzi. Unsighted in the latter stages of that first quarter. Demazi's kick wide and a minor score. So lets himself down again. That would be his 3rd point of the afternoon.
South Adelaide continuing to come back into this quarter after North that dominant first few minutes. Excuse me.
Rowe kicks long. Grokey takes the mark at half-back for the Roosters. Got a man all on his own on the outer side. Takes the mark. That's Gum. Tries to get around the big man Bradley. Bradley did okay. Just corralled him for a moment. Bennett will take this. Thumped over the back by Damon White. Spills to McGowan. Quick onto the boot. Looking for Laddams. Over the back. That's goal sense. Oh, he overrun it. Well, he had plenty of goal sense. Tripped over the football. And the ball rushed through for a behind. Terrible mistake by Chris Laddams, and I don't think he'd like what he sees on the tape at the end of this match.
I think he'd normally pick those up, and the South Adelaide player and Webb getting his foot to the ball, kicking it through for a rush behind.
I don't think anybody had too much of control of that ball. South Adelaide, those moved it pretty well this time. Manhood, hand pass went straight past the face of Smart, was able to get back, pick it up, slipped, then gave it back to Manhood, finally shares it again. Kruger drops it. Coming in quickly was Motlop, and then another player in Uni over the top. Umpire will come in and call for a bounce. That was pretty ugly.
That was scrappy football, missing 2 very makeable handballs, and yeah, South Adelaide wouldn't be happy about that, and neither would the coach.
Again, though, they've got it at half forward. That's 60 metres from their goal. Bradley, great tap, right. Tried to get it to Smart, had to go and get it Smart. Couldn't force his way through the pack, lost control. Motlop with the left foot, looks up for Hargraves. Good kick, well balanced, well weighted. Hargraves comes and meets it, now looks up forward for the lead. Damon White comes on the lead, it won't get that far. Laddams at the front, almost able to take it. Quickly butters up, well done by Laddams, taken high. We'll get a free kick. Just a change going on the boundary. Cobb, I think it was, coming back onto the ground, started the match with long sleeves, has obviously changed jumpers, so it's a little bit warmer than what I think it is, that's for sure. Laddams still taking his time, outside 50, waiting for a lead. He's very clever. You would think if somebody can get a yard of space, Chris Laddams will hit them on the chest. Obviously nobody can get a yard of space. Finally goes for Damon White, and Daly just chips in front, did very well and very bravely. That's the sort of way you get shiners like that one.
Smart bit of work by Daly. He's done some good things so far. Just kicks to half-back. Smart, 2-on-1. Laddams, his Crows teammate. Back to Gum. Over the top, Jeffries has got to get around. Goes to Motlop. So they're making hard work of it here at North Adelaide. Taken by Brett White, whose short kick turns it over to Wright. The foot skills hasn't been too good for the Roosters. Daly kicks it long. The target is Cobb, and well done by Grokey. The spillage, Damasi. Cobb just overrunning the football. The first fumble, they can't grab it first time, and Cobb ridden to the ground, no free kick. And Brett White screaming, saying, how about a free kick to me?
Down forward for North Adelaide, we've had a couple of changes. Hargraves and White have swapped over. Ben Wilson and Bennett there doing a great job so far defending for South Adelaide.
Big pack of players around this footy. Comes down, Wintle, he's clever, got it to Ebert. Ebert's long kick. Bennett here up against Hargraves, who did well. Can't get through the Kruger tackle. Ball locked underneath. And another bounce. Just inside or just outside 50. And there's a player in Radetti about to replace Ray Ebel, who looks like he's done something to a hip or to somewhere in the stomach there, Ray Ebel. We'll get Mark Soderstrom onto it in a moment. Kruger, his kick has gone out of bounds on the full, and North will go back into attack. There's Ray Ebel.
Yes, about to receive some treatment there, Sodals. As you said, we'll get to the bottom of it. Here's Jeffries with the free kick, or the kick at least, for North Adelaide. Jeffries takes his time, puts it up inside 50. White in the middle of that pack. Bradley just taps it down. Unfortunately, it's rode by North Adelaide. Wintle around the corner, and again they're astray. The Roosters would not be happy with this performance. It's been at times insipid. Just haven't been able to get any scoreboard pressure in this quarter.
No, exactly right. Oh, he's certainly in a bit of pain there, Abel. And no, you're right, Neil. The attack of North Adelaide has been inconsistent, and South Adelaide defenders have been bouncing it back as South waste that ball, kicking it over the boundary. So Mark Jeffries will try again to set something up for North Adelaide.
A young man there in the crowd let himself down with his skills then. Jeffries just runs off the mark, thought about ducking inboard, and then decided just to load up a long bomb and hope for a mark. Bradley there, knocked it down. Handball over the top by McGowan to Ebert. Ebert, can he dribble it through? No! I think it just flicked Jared Bennett's boot. And just in the end, just ran out of bounds in the opposite pocket. Let's have a look at the goal umpire cam. Here we go. Just off Bennett's boot. And the boundary umpire just watches it go out of bounds. Tap down. Hanby can't get out of that lot. Another bounce. Deep inside the Roosters' attacking zone. There's Michael Hanby, who missed a lot of last year with a hamstring injury. And it's terrific to see him back in the side. A very, very bad hamstring.
12 possessions today.
Has done well. Sampson, the skipper for South Adelaide. The intention totally on getting that ball out of bounds. Well cleared. And Sampson, Ben, has looked pretty good. That knee reco last year, and he's back in the side. His second game after inch, he's looking okay.
He is. He's starting to get a bit of the football, and he's looking strong, looking confident in the knee, which I guess is the big thing coming back from knee reconstruction. You know, people I know who've had them, they say the biggest thing is overcoming that. I guess just the mindset that might give way. So, no, Clay Sampson, wishing him all the best, and hoping that knee will hold up well.
Has thrown himself on the football and shown a fine example to his teammates. Hedge, who looks a player. Wright, snaffled by Sutherland. Daly, who did well, back to Webb, to Smart. Sneaky handball to Wright, who sets up Damasi. Damasi is going to kick it long. Good kick. Rowe just got in the gap. Grokey just got it away. They work it out of half-back. Sutherland takes the mark. Close to the wing. And Scott Sutherland, who loves a bit of a scrap, Neil. And he's got it at half-back for the Roosters.
Now they're forced to hold up. Nothing much in front of Sutherland or to the side at the moment, so he just goes long and high. South Adelaide with the numbers at the front. Hanby, one of those. Goes out the back door. Sampson squares it to Smart. If he gets it, he's in a bit of space, not quite shut down quickly by Jeffries. Smart, though, has runners. Outside him in Smith and Bennett, who gets the ball. Smith, Shepherd, good Shepherd. Down towards half forward. The pass was pretty good from Bennett. And they play on again, South Adelaide, looking for a quick entry inside forward 50. Off the right boot, it came from Griffin, and through for the minor score in the end. But a lot more direct, and it seems like they've got a better pattern of play at the moment, South Adelaide.
Absolutely. North just bombing it away. I mean, they're just hoping for a big grab, and it's just at the moment not going to happen. The South Tors are shutting down the North Adelaide players.
Roosters go forward again, getting back. Bennett should take this mark. 19.5 minutes gone. And the Roosters haven't really been able to make any impression. Smith kicks it long. Big fly, giving away a free kick. Was the big man. And might have been Grokey, I think. And there's Mark Bradley coming off for a spell. Hanby has the free kick at centre-half forward for the Panthers. Waiting for something to open up, but the Roosters have got back here. Manning up. Hanby decides to go to the pocket. Target was Cobb. Can't get there. Play by Sutherland, taken by Laddams. Laddams kicks to the wing. Wintle. They can set it up from here. Wintle goes down the line. The kick to White was a beauty. He is very good by hand and foot, Darryl Wintle. He runs on. He'll get it back from White or Will Jeffries. Wintle left it for Jeffries. Jeffries kicks a long behind. Well done by the big man in Hedge, who used all his height and just knocked that ball through for a behind. Well done by Hedge. That ball then looking for all money as going for a goal.
Oh, that's fantastic footage, isn't it? The goal umpire, Cam, getting that fist right on the line. I mean, couldn't have been any closer there, and our umpire right on the spot. Well done.
Well, awkward kick. Finds King, though. We'll have another quick look at that. Right on the line. Goal umpire Cam. As I said, that is some of the best pitches you'll get in football. Well, smart. Dummies and then works it from half back as best he can down towards half forward. Tarrant with the mark, wants to play on, does play on quickly. Tarrant in short, he goes with the pass. Huska's got back there. They read it pretty well. Sutherland, though, couldn't get rid of the ball fast enough. Here's Huskis. His vision was good to Motlop in a lot of space. Motlop can take a couple of bounces. Nobody comes to him. Ebert is next in the chain. Taken by McGowan, in fact. McGowan off the left foot, has plenty of players in the middle. Oh, it's just a matter of raffling who wanted to take it. And finally, Rode came in, slid in and took the mark. So he'll have a shot and probably kick from just outside 50. It'll challenge him, I would have thought, this sort of distance.
Only been on the ground for a couple of minutes, Rode, and it's probably his first kick, I'd say, Moggy. That'd be right. Get the nod, and he'll go back. Distance, I think, is the issue here.
Just his third game of league football, hasn't kicked a goal yet, and that one away to the right, coming back nicely. So that's his first goal in SANFL football. Callum Rode, well done. And the Roosters again just stretched that rubber band out a bit to breaking point.
It's a lovely finish. McGowan, they did raffle at the North Adelaide players, and in the end lucky to take that, but going back and looking really confident with his kick. He kicked from just outside 50 with a slight breeze, but as we can see, it just snuck over, and oh, that touch. One of the South Adelaide players getting a hand on it, but just behind the line.
Working overtime today, goal umpire Cam.
Took
another bounce in the centre. Yes, Moggy.
Sorry, Michael, took North 16 entries inside 50 this quarter to get that goal.
Yes, they've had plenty of it. Hedge knocked it down. Well done. Daly just threw it on the left boot. Coming out, not quite grabbing it. The Panthers taken by Rowe. Rowe's kick chopped off by Smith. Bennett there to lend assistance. Good tackle by Motlop. He got rid of it. It spills to Hargraves. Hargraves had prior opportunity, and the umpire rewards the tackler. And Smith has been terrific for the Panthers this afternoon.
Just a lack of talk there. Sorry about that. Just a lack of talk. Didn't allow Hargraves to run away with the football then.
The kick up forward, taken by Wright. The Panthers on a full burst. Good mark taken by Gropey, just getting back. They want to switch it away. They do. White, as Brett White finds Gum on the outer side. He has Gatto in the centre. Gatto just takes the mark before Carey mows him down. And a 25-metre penalty. But the umpire says play on. Will he bring it back? He has to. And our man on the boundary line there with plenty to say still. And here on the effects microphone, Gatto is a long way from goal. Short kick, and Huskis has dropped down and taken the mark, and he is very proppy. He's right on 50, and one wonders why he's still out there, but he's doing okay.
I think the distance will trouble him here. I think on that right ankle, a little bit proppy, and I don't think he'll make the distance here. I think he's still looking, trying to surmise if anyone's going to offer him a lead. No one seems to be moving or offering him anything, and he's just asking where the mark is. So Huskis obviously backing himself.
Hasn't kicked too many goals by the sounds of it, Adam Huskis. He has had plenty of possessions today for a man on one leg, effectively. Kicking from right on 50. He'll give it a long ride. He's hooked it away badly. In fact, he's had a curse there. He's hooked it fiercely out of bounds on the foot.
Shane Prisabilla, the umpire, very interesting then. Huskis was taking a long time with the kick. He blew time off. I know there was some criticism of the way that forwards are allowed to take all day to kick a goal, and the defenders have to move the ball on quickly. That was good umpiring because it didn't cost anybody on the clock. Now North Adelaide, they'll get another opportunity to go inside 50 before half-time. Here's Hargraves. Hargraves waiting on a lead. Damon White comes and then stops. Wintle says, give it to me short. In the end, he goes wide, and making a bit of room out there with Sutherland. He'll go back, and be presented with the same thing. No, he'll hand pass it off to Motlop, who then just goes long and high. Can anybody pull this one down? Wright brings it to the front. Jeffries with a slick hand pass. McGowan tried to get it away. Webb in the end did. Out to Smart. Bit of space for Smart to work with. Tarrant on the lead. He ignores that. Takes a bounce. Tarrant now with a big Shepherd coming up. Missed his man. Smart, his kick isn't missed his man too. Well, Damasi sat under the ball. And now Gum will bring it away for North Adelaide. North Adelaide go down towards half forward again. This time they'll get a forward. Well, they won't. I was going to say they'll get an effective forward entry. Wintle was able to take that. Well, the umpires paid it. That's interesting. The umpires actually paid the mark to Wintle. Thought the siren may have gone before he actually took the mark.
You wouldn't think he'd have a chance from that far out. I mean, there's a very, very slight breeze at his back.
This is one of those few times when the coaches will give the all clear for the talk, and he's made a pretty good fist of it, Darryl Wintle, but he's finished about 5 metres short. The ball eventually rolled through. Umpire says that is a point, fellas. So an extra score after the siren. It came off the hands of the back rather than being actually punched through. The goal umpire waited and the ball rolled across the line, so an extra score for North Adelaide to finish the quarter. Who knows, that might be vital. Let's face it, these two teams have had draws in the past. South Adelaide 6-8-44, North Adelaide 3-7-25 at half-time. And Ben, take us through those goal kickers.
Thanks, Neil. 18 points the difference here at Noarlunga Oval rather than 19 that we actually mentioned as we have a look at the goal kickers. And Clinton King with those 2, Wright with the 2, Damasi and Daly each 1. For North Adelaide, Wintle 1 and Laddams 1 and Road 1.
Yeah, it's been few and far between, haven't they, those goals for North Adelaide. They wasted possession in that quarter as we see. What do you make of the stats?
Well, I mean, pretty even, but I think apart from the obviously handballs there where South are using the ball a bit more with the hand, both teams a bit wasteful, and North Adelaide going long with the kicks, but not always long to a good option.
And look, you mentioned that score at half-time. Let's just have another look. This is the kick from Wintle, comes in to the full forward sort of area, and this is after the siren, of course. Now, that ball is rolling away, and I think Hedge there actually realised that still going under its own momentum off the top of the pack. The rule is that that then counts as a score. If it had been punched through or in some way forced through by a North Adelaide or South Adelaide player, it wouldn't have counted. But because it was off the hands and then it rolled through for a point, I think some of the players weren't quite aware what was happening.
No, and I myself didn't know that rule. I thought it was once it touched the player, that was the end of the game. I thought it was dead ball.
Well, we learn something every time we watch football. Now, Soda's down on the boundary. You've got some news from the rooms in terms of what's going on with injuries.
Yes, Adam Huskus did return for that second term, as we did see. He rolled the ankle in the first term. I suspect he had an injection at quarter time. He did have the ankle re-strapped. He was very proppy throughout that second term. Jared Wright able to run off him a couple of times. But Huskus will stay on for the third term. Ray Ebel, the other Rooster who did look in trouble, he did get a knock to the abdominal wall. And the doctor said that there is some chance he will return, but I think he's in a fair bit of trouble now.
Would a knock to the abdominal wall, would that be a punch in the stomach?
Something along those lines, I think, yes.
Thanks for that, Saders. Quick look at the other games. The other games in this round, of course, Port Adelaide losing to Sturt by 34 last night. The Eagles trail Norwood by 21 points at half-time. Bit of an upset there at Woodville. And West Adelaide 8-8-56. Glenelg 9-3-57. Glenelg, the Tigers, by a point at Richmond Oval. We're just about set for the second half. Here's Michael Maney with the call of the third quarter.
Thank you, Neil. And it'll look... starting to get a bit bleak here at Noarlunga Oval. I don't think there's any rain about, but an 18-point lead to South Adelaide in this round 9 clash. 7th versus 3rd. And there's Adam Huskus, who still looks pretty proppy. He's got plenty of determination. I don't think he wants to let the side down, and hasn't really done so in this match. And there's a discussion also. Ray Ebel speaking to a couple of officials from North Adelaide. Underway in the third term. The Panthers lead by 18 points. Good lead. Bradley knocks it down. He's been good. Motlop's there. Shuffled it to Wintle. Now that kick's gone up. 10 down 10. King, it wasn't a mark. He just has to throw it on the boot. Lovely mark taken by Sutherland, the smallest man in that contest. He's been a handy player for them so far. Good kick finds Motlop out of half-back. Motlop, I suppose, will be looking to try and play a top season, see if he can get redrafted. And his kicking lets him down on that occasion. Kruger just comes across and takes a lovely mark. Kicks a wobbly old kick. Motlop's got the sit. Hedge did well, knocked it forward. Warren, who spent a bit of time on the bench. Rowe, who's played mainly in defence. Got it to Sutherland, back to Rowe, and let himself down badly with a kick. And that ball will roll out of bounds. Boundary umpire right on the spot there, Jason Rowe. Normally, Ben uses the ball so productively, but that kick was a shocker.
Silky skills, and only just fell within the boundary line there, and unlucky for South, but certainly lucky for Rowe himself.
Grokey did the ruck work, fell to Smith for the Panthers. Webb, quick handball to King. King, short kick, finds Wright, just carries the 15. Wright is hemmed in on the boundary line there. He'll take a good kick from there, although if he does go back, he just opens up that angle a little bit the further he goes back. And Jared Wright, he's looking around, eyes darting. That's a bit of a giveaway that he's going to try and give it off. He'll try and run around here, you'd suggest, or is he going to go in a straight line? Straight line, good kick. Good kick by Jared Wright. He's got 3 for the afternoon, and the Panthers get the first of the third term.
That's the start they're looking for as we see the short kick from Clinton King coming in. Clinton King using his skills and seems to be getting a lot of the football today. And the mark going back there and kicking a very, very handy goal for South Island just to extend that half-time margin. Wright looking good and only played, this is his 6th game. And now I think that would be his 9th goal for his career so far. So keeping the averages up.
Jared Wright, 12 possessions today, Clinton King 13. Out the top ones for South, Michael Hanby with 15 and Matthew Smith with 15. For North, Chris Laddams 13 and Darryl Wintle 12.
Laddams has been impressive, and I think Hanby's been very good too. Those 2 players in terms of how they use the ball. Here's Brett White through half forward with the kick. Oh, gee, everybody misjudged that. Finally, it came to the back, knocked away still towards the boundary line. The kick was Griffin, and Griffin got it out of bounds and half back for South Adelaide. Working over there, Matthew Smith, who's on the bench, Sodas.
Well, Mark Miller is on there, and joining him to surprise is the captain and vice-captain Clay Sampson and Kim Cobb.
Very interesting to see that pair. Obviously taking their time in the rotation. I don't know that that would necessarily be discipline, but who knows. Here's King down the line with the kick, just didn't carry far enough. McGowan used that left foot several times today. He's a natural right footer. Wintle, the recipient of the pass this time. The captain looks up, goes short. Heath Uni on the end of it. Uni now looks down inside the forward 50, bangs it long and high, and ineffectively Bradley brings it to ground. Damon White with the hand pass out. Jeffries in a bit of space, back to White, round the corner with the kick, up in front of goal. Bennett was held on to by Sutherland. He got away with it, Sutherland, and kicked the point. Well, he was miles off with that kick.
Fortuitous crumb by White, but North Adelaide just bombing away again. I mean, we've talked about it already today that they don't have the delivery that I guess Andrew Jarman would be trying to drill into them, into the forward line. And just by bombing away, it's giving the South Adelaide defenders every chance.
Long kick out, looking for Smart. McGowan at front and square. In goes White. Falls back to Motlop. Motlop drills the pass. Laddams couldn't take the mark. Good work by Hanby. He just cleared the area. Out to the wing. Foot race. Beautifully kept in by Carey. Lovely piece of play by the young man. Long kick down. Warren just couldn't hold on to the test mark. The crowd giving plenty of support. Boundary throw in. Terrific work here by Carey, Ben.
Now, I tell you what, it must have, if not over, that was on the line.
Boys, that ball was almost in my lap here on the boundary line.
It was chalk dust, speaking of tennis.
Bradley tried to knock it to King, but Hanby's copped one too high. Quickly on to King, who's got a man in short in right. Why wouldn't he go to him somewhere near 50? Uses the left, long kick. Ball will be touched through for one behind. Redetti, the man there, along with Tom Hedge, and through for a behind.
Have a look here, wasn't going through. Maybe the shepherd could have been the option rather than putting the big hand up, but I guess when a man that close, you've got to go for it.
North Adelaide just looking to move the ball. Not having a great deal of success. Finally, they've broken it into the open, so Motlop off the left foot. Finds Damon White. Quickly to Brett White. Brett White skirting towards the 50. From 50, he kicks long, looking for Jeffries. That's over the back. It bounces awkwardly and not through the goals. Well, that must have been very, very close. Now they fight towards half forward. Hanby misses his man. His target was Laddams. Laddams just went after the ball. Gum gave it back to Laddams. Inside with the hand pass. Uni in trouble. Ball to ground. Hanby comes away. Hand pass to Bennett. Bennett in turn goes wide and long. And Smith gets on the end of it. A mark and relief for South Adelaide.
The ball magnet, Smith, goes in short and finds Manhood. Manhood at half back. Uses his left boot. Looking for Hedge out on a long lead. Has a yard or two on Grokey. Handball over the top. Sets up King beautifully. King spears it in. Looking for Tarrant.
Great kick.
Cousin of Chris takes the mark at centre half forward. Right on 50. And will go back and shoot for goal. Good use of the football.
Great kick by Clinton King in there to the forward line. He put it out in front of Tarrant. Tarrant running onto the ball. And we'll see it here with King's delivery. They're the skills you'd expect of someone who's had AFL experience. And a nice strong grab there by Tarrant as he goes back and kicks from probably just inside 50 metres.
This to make it 5 goals if he gets the journey. Tom Tarrant will kick from around 47. Good long kick is an accurate one. And the Panthers have 2 unanswered goals in this third term. That's out to 30 points.
5 goals the difference now. It's North certainly don't want it to balloon out in any way. They want to try and get a few goals back on them this quarter, and at the moment South looking dangerous though. Tarrant, strong grab and strong finish, and like Michael Maney said, out to 30 points now. Getting a little bit worrying for Andrew Jarman and the North Adelaide team.
Clinton King's had 5 kicks this quarter. It's just 7 minutes old.
That would be red hot then. Is Smart coming off the half-back line, pushes away from Gum and just couldn't stick to him. Smart off the right foot, down to Wright. Handled it well. Looks a class player, Wright. That wasn't a bad kick. Tarrant, well, almost took the mark. From behind came Ebert. I should mention there is a relationship, you've got to search hard, between Ebert and Tarrant, and that is Tarrant played for Morningside in the Queensland League. And Ebert's father, Jeff, won the Grogan Medal for Morningside in 1974. Ball back into play. Smart, in a bit of space. Dummies once, maybe should have given it. In the end, it's short. Bradley with the mark. Been very good in ruck today, Bradley. Impressive player. Has a long list of clubs he's played for too, as he goes short to Damasi. Looks inside 50. Pretty crowded in front of him. In fact, nobody backward of centre except a pair on the goal square at the other end. So Damasi goes inside 50. Hedge, strong, good mark. Spent some time on the Carlton list, did Tom Hedge. And you can see he's got some talent.
Stuck those big hands up in the air and judged it well. 2 North Adelaide players coming in and probably should have at least put a spoil on. There's a good block there by the South Adelaide player drifting over the back of the pack. You can see Hedge going back for goal. Leaned back on it a little bit and has drawn it away to the left-hand side and through from one behind.
Disappointing result, his second behind of the afternoon.
Yeah, again, putting the pressure on North. That's what it's all about for South Adelaide at the moment. If they keep missing those opportunities, then that pressure, obviously, nowhere near as great as if they get a couple of goals ahead and keep putting the score on the board.
Of course, North Adelaide don't fall away as badly this year. They will keep coming back at you. Long kick by Rowe. Roved off the pack by Wright. They got it away. Griffin kicks it long. Long kick and a goal! They come from everywhere. The young Ryan Griffin, who ran down and kicked a goal. What a kick by Griffin. And that will lift spirits for the Panthers.
Absolutely, on the run. Lovely handball. And Griffin lines up on the 50-metre line and puts it through. South Adelaide spirits, a really great positive sign. You watch this, all the South Adelaide players coming in and congratulating Griffin, the young player. And they look as though they are not going to let this one slip away from them at home, at Noarlunga, where they have struggled this season.
Yes, they have indeed, haven't they? Rather disappointing, the results for South Adelaide this season. We saw them in the first game of the year give away a lead against West Adelaide. Here's Bradley. Here's White. Brett White with the first possession out of the centre. Hanby now for South Adelaide will drive the ball forward. Manhood will come from behind late. Didn't quite get there. Benny Warren busts the pack. Then gets a hand pass out wide. Here's Tarrant from 45 metres. Goes back inside. Dangerous. That was just asking for trouble. Hamby was steady. The kick, though, was a little bit high. Punch came from Motlop. Back to Webb. Webb's on his natural foot. On the left side, Webb goes inside 50. Had 2 targets to aim at. One of them was King. One of them was Manhood. Missed both of them. Manhood was good enough, or rather King was good enough to come back and hit a target. And finally, we'll get Smith to have a shot at goal from 35 metres out.
I guess the positive for South is the fact that it's kept getting at the football, but that was a bad decision kicking across the centre there, but then just a comedy of errors in North Adelaide coughing it up, and South getting another shot at goal.
Gee, North Adelaide only kicked 3 goals at this stage of the match. We're midway through the 3rd quarter, and they will have to kick 6 or maybe 7 goals if this one goes through to have a chance in this match. Well, there's a goal from Smith. So 7 goals won the margin. It's a long, long way back for North Adelaide.
Well, panic stations, I would say, in the North Adelaide coach's box at the moment, as we see King pick up another touch. Hasn't he got a lot of the football today? Given across, and Smith making no mistake with the goal. Our umpire, head cam, and Smith very happy with that, as are the South Adelaide faithful down here at Noarlunga Oval.
Matthew Smith, 7 marks, 17 possessions.
Been sensational for them. 43 points, the difference. And they go forward again. Handball out. Hanby just rolls his way forward. Umpire Williams will bounce.
Michael, Ben mentioned it might be panic stations for the Roosters in the coach's box, but they're still making moves. Adam Huskus has gone to full forward. Hargroves pushed up the centre half forward, so Huskus one out in the square.
Good work, and Robert Pyman just a moment ago, pretty happy with the way things are going. Taken by Webb, who looks for Manhood. Well done, Ivans. Here comes Smith, who kicked the last goal, just fumbled. Motlop, good enough to get it back. And that ball was just locked in to Luke Ivans, and a bounce. And a little bit of work being done on the fingernails there by Jars. Running out of ideas fast. Inside 50 for South Adelaide. Roved off the back by Ebert. Handball on over the top. Hedge knocked it down to Smith. How did he get that? Taken by Webb. Webb kicks to the square. Tarrant getting back. Well done by the young man in Radetti, who just knocked it through for a behind. With defensive skills, matched it strength-wise with Tarrant and knocked it through for a behind.
Not the kick. I think he was going for the goal there. Not the kick if he was looking for Tarrant. Too far into this pocket, too deep.
Again, North Adelaide looking to move the ball quickly. They haven't been able to get good possessions this afternoon, and there's another one that's been turned over. Hanby inside 50, beautiful kick. Warren on the end of it. And Benny Warren will have an opportunity to kick another goal. He's got a couple of players loose forward of the play, and he's ignoring those. He's pretty confident. Just Hanby. Play just opens up when you turn over that ball when you're trying to come out of defence. So here's Warren. Just lays back on the kick. No problems, though. Goal umpire likes what he sees. And again, all the Panthers group in to congratulate the goal kicker.
The floodgates have opened. And South Adelaide, with this scoring end, I mean, on a day where there's very little breeze around, it's predominantly, all the goals have been predominantly scored down here at the right-hand end of screen. And Ben Warren going back, kicking that goal. And South Adelaide looking the goods at the moment as they keep piling on the goals.
8 goals the difference. Ben Warren's first. Spent a bit of time on the interchange bench. Out to 48 points. Easily the highest margin, highest lead in this game. Bradley has been dominant in the ruck.
Get out to 25-8 in favour of the Panthers.
Magnificent. 50 points the difference. Thank you, gentlemen. She thought got a bit of that. Wright for the Panthers. To King. Another possession for him. How will he use it this time? It's a spear to Manhood. Boy, oh boy. 5 goals unanswered in this term. This could be number 6. What a player. What a link player Clinton King is when he's on a roll.
Yeah, I think South Adelaide have been expecting a lot of Clinton King this year, and you know, some people may say that he hasn't quite produced the goods as of yet this season, but today he has certainly turned it around as South go back and kick another goal.
First goal to Nick Manhood. It's out to 56 points.
There we see King's silky skills, just good enough to get that kick away and hit Manhood with a very flat, low, short kick. Manhood good enough himself to go back and put that one away. Moggy, how many kicks has Clinton King had?
Yes, he's had 7 this quarter, 14 for the game.
Well, Moggy, he's had a few kicks, but he's going to have a breather now. He's earned a rest, and coming onto the ground is the skipper, Clay Sampson, at half forward.
Well, again, though, clear out of the middle, South Adelaide. The long kick finds Warren. Dead set, too easy at the moment for South Adelaide. The Panthers looking the goods. And that rubber band I talked about in the first half is now stretched beyond breaking point. Surely North Adelaide not in touch in any way.
Some of these boys just look as though, you know, they're not quite tuned in today. They're just not quite on it. Like Jason Rowe then, he saw Warren leading away from him. As we see Warren kick a behind off to the left of the goals there. Rowe just, you know, he walked out almost. You know, he's just jogging behind Warren, expecting him not to get it. But, you know, they just can't have that. They need to lift.
Long kick by Rowe. Up goes Grokey, can't take the mark. Sampson in hard, does well. And there's Gatto, who really hasn't had too much of the footy this afternoon. We saw him earlier in the season, Sean Gatto, a lot of possessions. He's going to following around Clay Sampson at the moment.
Just 3 today.
All knocked down. Gum, he's been a good player for them. A man in plenty of space is Jeffries. Takes it into the centre of Noarlunga Oval and runs hard. Kicks it long, looking for Huskus. Bennett couldn't take the mark. Over the back to Hargraves. Bennett did well on the ground. Looking to get rid of that football. It's locked back into him. He's making every attempt to get rid of it, and he's been pinged. Well, I think that's a bit tough on Bennett, to be honest. Ben Knights, talk us through it.
He's working there. I mean, he has drawn it back into himself. He's trying to get rid of it, and the ball has been held. I mean, it's just been held tightly into him. He's tried to get rid of it there, and, you know, unlucky. Very unlucky.
Luke Ivins having a spell as Adam Huskus, who missed a goal in the second term. Should get the distance from here. A kick from about 40 metres. Nigel Smart, the man on the mark. Very tentative looking kick. Just fading away to the right. Won't make the distance. And finally knocked through from behind. And Adam Huskus clearly at about 40% fitness at the moment. And one wonders why he's still on there.
Andrew Jarman would have to be asking himself, is it worth risking further injury to that ankle with Huskus, you know, so obviously just on one foot.
Kick in for South Adelaide finds Bradley. They move the ball fairly quickly again. Smart deciding to go back. Don't know if he wasn't off then. Umpire, the important man, thought it was okay. So Smart, wide out on the wing, drives down towards half forward. Tarrant is in the middle of the pack. Rowe comes over the back. Umpire says he was interfered with Tarrant, so he'll get a free kick. Peter Williams, the umpire there, coming in and signalling. So in front of a scoreboard that now looks dismal if you're a North Adelaide fan. 3:10 for the game they've got. And 12-12 for South Adelaide. And the suggestion came from Ben that why would you risk that man on screen, Huskus? And as you can see, he's hobbling off the ground now.
Okay, come on.
So does we're going to see any more of him this afternoon?
I find it very unlikely, Neil, because the longer that Adam rests, the colder the ankle will get, and you'll find it hard to keep going. Luke Ivins did come off moments ago. He struggled with a corked gluteus maximus for most of the day. Scotty Sutherland, the former skipper, has gone back on.
That would be from a kick up the backside, no doubt. That ball back into Daly, and Daly takes the marker for South Adelaide. They will line up for another goal. Here's Huskus. Just at the moment, I would have thought you could only, as Soda suggested, get cold sitting there like that. I imagine he'll have a blanket or something around him very soon.
Haven't thrown the ice pack on the ankle just yet, though, so maybe they are hoping that he can come back on.
Oh, it is a rotation. Sean Daly lines up at goal and has missed everything. Very disappointing result. But in keeping with what we've seen from South Adelaide at times this afternoon, certainly early in the game, they were well astray. Maybe North Adelaide can't afford a blanket.
Nice and snug, aren't they? kick by Laddams finds Brett White. It's kicked to a 2-on-1, and the one was Smith.
Been very good.
He's been terrific so far. I like his work rate. He really does run hard. Long kick. Hedges the target, and/or Warren. They fly. North get a hand on it. Manhood went without it. Warren just feeds it out. Handball over the top to Webb. Webb's got Sampson. Can the skipper kick a goal? One fumble, two. Goes back on the footy. And Grokey just takes it to ground. And the umpire's given a free kick. He was going to ball it up. A bit of off-the-ball stuff. And this is a bit of an ugly pack here. A few boys just pushing and shoving. They're pretty keen, some of them in there too, by the look of it. And the umpire's struggling to break this up. He wants to pay a free kick, and he has done. He can't just walk away and bounce the ball and say, let's go on with it. He's paid a free kick.
Well, he also can't get the ball. It was trapped under the players.
Probably more the case as it keeps on, spills on out here. Umpire's now paid 50-metre penalty and is taking the ball down the ground. North Adelaide with it.
Well, somebody watch what's going on back there. We'll have to go with Heath Uni. It's in the box there. All we can see is a pair of shorts from the runner. Uni kicks it long. Ball pumped away. Sutherland runs onto it. He's a clever player. Slips it on the boot. Taken by McGowan. McGowan just a short half-distance kick looking for Hargraves. Thought he might have gone for goal. Bennett got it away to Wright. Wright's kick just fades away. Smith, another possession for him. Down the wing. Cuts back inboard. Damasi was the target.
Numbers.
All the Panthers here. Taken by Warren. Warren kicks into the pocket to Tarrant. Well, Tarrant could have led inboard. Decided to go to the pocket. Warren runs on and gets the pass from Tarrant. Champagne football by the Panthers. Terrific running. And they really did work the footy down there with precision.
Chris Laddams not overly happy about being left on his own on Tarrant. A bit of a height difference. And Ben Warren just working into space across the goal and should finish.
This to take it to 62 points. Warren makes no mistake. He's got his second for the term as the push and shove continues. But let's have a look at the scoreboard if you're a North Adelaide supporter. And I think if you're a North Adelaide player, look at it too and say, let's try and just get on with the game.
That's about all they can do as we have a look at it. 90 to 28, 25 scoring shots to 13. And we have a look here at the goal. Tarrant passing across to Warren. Warren, a real confidence player, starting on the bench today, and having played against him a few times myself, he thrives once he gets a bit of a touch of the football and starts running around with a bit of confidence, holding his head up high. He's a real confidence player, and will be very dangerous up forward now that he's got his head in the air and has kicked a couple of goals.
Key stat today, Ben, inside 50, the marks inside 50, I should say, North 4, South 16.
Very telling.
Bradley, beautiful knock into the path of Sampson. Got the hand pass out. Beautiful hand pass to Webb. Webb running from 40 metres. Accuracy was there. Another goal to South Adelaide. North Adelaide is getting an absolute toweling, and I will remind you the last time these two sides did actually meet, round 16 last year, South Adelaide 23-17, 155, North Adelaide 7-5, 47. We thought they were a different side. In fact, what we've seen is that North Adelaide is susceptible. That was behind play just as that goal was kicked. Jason Rowe, in the goal before that, which Tarrant set up, Tarrant and Laddams were opposed to each other. Laddams went crook at his players. One of them was Rowe because Rowe was supposed to be standing Tarrant. So it's on for young and old out there, let me tell you.
8 goals, 4 to 2 behinds in this third term. A steamroller. Out of the middle. Kruger does well. Back to Smith. And a little bit of work off the ball. And the free kick will go against the Panthers and it'll go to Laddams. It's taken high. Didn't see any numbers taken there, but off the ball, Chris Laddams has been dealt with. And Daly in there. He doesn't watch things. He's probably keeping away from a bit. Looks like he's gone a couple of rounds with Costa Zoo. Laddams in the meantime shorts it up and finds White. This is Brett White. He unloads from a long way out and pushed it away to the right. So the Roosters get their third score.
6-11.
Here we go. Bradley, the man, I think. Culprit. Just clipped him, I think. Might have just missed him, Ben.
May have just missed him. Yeah, didn't... just out of screen there, just missed it in the corner of the screen.
If you've got a widescreen television, you probably saw a bit more than what we were able to, but probably something in that, but I don't know it was all that malicious. Put it that way. Here's Damasi breaking from half or towards half forward. His kick inside 50, can't find Tarrant. Rowe at the bottom of the pack takes the ball and then just kicks wide. They do have a 2-on-1 out there, North Adelaide, running onto it. Motlop, shepherded by White. Motlop down towards half forward. McGowan inside, Uni running into a bit of space. Game has definitely opened up. Damon White sitting at centre half forward, just drives it off the right foot long and high. Wait on the goal umpire, minus score. That's been the North Adelaide problem this afternoon.
It's a story of their day, Neil, exactly right. 3 goals, 12 now. North Adelaide not using their opportunities and not, you know, I guess that comes from the directness to goal as well, just not being as direct as they'd like to.
Long kick out, Bennett there. What's going on here? Just waiting for Bennett to take his kick. 66 points the difference. Short kick by Bennett to Hedge. Been good for them so far, Hedge. Another short kick to Webb. Dying moments of this third term, although we've had 8 goals kicked, all by the Panthers. Webb, the last man to kick a goal. From half back to half forward. She knocks it away from Damasi. Rode well by the veteran in Smart. This uses it well, delays it, got it to Sampson, cuts it back inboard to Damasi. Damasi from 45 lines them up and misses. Mark Damasi, not happy with that. Should have probably popped that through, Ben.
Bit of goal kicking practice for South Adelaide. Them themselves have been a little bit wasteful today.
Short kick finds Rowe. Rowe wants to go to the outer side. They're going the long way home, North Adelaide, just trying to get some system. And Radetti can't keep it in. Boundary throw in. 28 minutes gone. And there's a man with multiple problems, Andrew Jarman. Be disappointed with the way his players have applied themselves this afternoon. Lost a bit of focus. He needs to get them back on track. Smith scrubs a kick to Damasi. Laddam's there for the Roosters. And another bounce. 67-point lead to South Adelaide. 8 unanswered goals in this term. Has been a terrific performance by them. Cuts a lonely figure, doesn't he? Andrew Jarman. Where do all your support staff go when you're down by 67 points? Taken by Smith. Kicks a very, very high kick. But taken by Carey. They all just left it for him. He played on, dropped the footy, goes back, shows a bit of toe. He might cough it up to Radetti, who thought he was legged. Free kick will go to Radetti. Advantage rule paid. Gatto tried to handball to Motlop. Motlop wasn't ready, but Gatto will get a free kick.
Andrew Jarman walking all the way along the boundary line there and didn't even watch the play, just trying to obviously work out what he's going to say at 3/4 time.
Laddams cuts out of half-back, short kick, and White has worked hard for no result. Laddams ran on pretty well, squares it up to a man in the centre square in Jeffries. Jeffries played on, caught from behind, ball held to him. Said it's against you, Mark Jeffries. There it goes. Ben, what do you think?
He took that one little step, and that's the umpire's not happy about the fact the umpire called play on him there. That one little step just gave him away, and then, I mean, probably unlucky to be pinged because he didn't have much opportunity to get rid of the footy. He was wrapped up pretty quickly.
Long kick, Tarrant went too early. Over the back, Warren shares it with Daly, with Manhood. Manhood just sits it up, hoping for a mark. Bradley there, palmed it down, looking for Damasi. They'll rush it through. White won't concede. Scrubbed it out, looking for McGowan. And the ball runs out and beats Ian Griffin.
Jeffries. Well, I don't think he was too happy with the umpire's call there.
No, you could say that. Andrew Jarman probably not happy with his players. He's back to the game at the moment. Here's Motlop. In close, just gets a little toe poke out. Smith, quick, and skilled. Inside with the hand pass to Daly. Daly with a short kick. It's just too easy for South Adelaide at the moment. Here's Wright. Wright looks up forward, kicks it up high, looking for Warren to take the mark. Brett White comes back, couldn't take it. Wright with the hand pass to Ebert. Ebert with the hand pass on the siren. And that brings an end to another quarter of misery for North Adelaide. And as you see, the glum look from Andrew Jarman.
Yes, Andrew Jarman, not looking the best, very glum. South Adelaide, 14-13, 97. North, 3-12-30. It's the Panthers up by 67 points.
You know, I guess North Adelaide looked as though at times in the first and second quarter they're coming back, but on that score, I mean, that third quarter, South Adelaide just kicked away from them. Look at the goal kickers, Wright with 3 and King and Warren with 2 each. North Adelaide still the same 3 from half-time without scoring a goal that quarter. As we look at the stats here. South Adelaide dominant, Neil, on the kicks and handballs, as you would expect from a team having so much of the football.
Well, especially when Andrew Jarman, I guess, disappointing. They haven't used that handball, which we know that North Adelaide likes to do and build from the back. They haven't done that this afternoon. Christopher Laddam's been an important player for them, though, hasn't he? He, especially in the first half, he was one of those and made sure that he delivered that ball up forward.
And that could come down to the talk of South Adelaide as well. They're more positive, they're more confident, so the talk could have been more to King than what has been displayed by some of the North Adelaide players.
And Sodas, what have you picked up at ground level?
Well, surprisingly, after the Panthers kicked 8 goals that quarter, Andrew Jarman remained very positive, and in fact before we picked up his little three-quarter time speech, he did say to the boys, here is an opportunity to create history and have the biggest comeback of all time. Whether it can happen, Neil, I'm not quite so sure.
From that smirk on your face, I detect you don't think it can happen.
Well, look, Andrew Jarman's a pretty positive character, isn't he? But I think they're going to need a hell of a lot of luck to peg back this lead.
Yeah, I would have thought so. And see there, Mark Jeffries, far from impressed at one umpiring decision. That was, I think, the case where he took one step over the mark and that was ruled to be play on.
Yeah, no doubt. Look, certainly not happy there at all, Mark Jeffries. And he's not he's a bit of a fiery character. He's always not the most pleasant guy on the field. And look, I guess he was unlucky in that case. Scores from other grounds to continue. The Eagles and Norwood. The Redlegs, 12-9-81. And the Eagles 10-4-64, so 17-point margin in favour of Norwood. Now, off air, you weren't prepared, obviously, to say it on air. You said the Redlegs would be a show this afternoon. I thought so. The boys actually spoke to a few of them, and they said they really felt they matched up well against the Eagles and had a real crack at it today, and they need the win. A quarter to go. We'll see what happens. 17 points the margin there. I would have thought. Three-quarter time, about to start the final quarter, but we'll just have one big key question for you, Ben. Is North Adelaide any show at all? No. Sorry, Neil, no. No, not in my books whatsoever. Andrew Jarman asking them just for a big effort in this last quarter, and I think that is what they'll get out of this game. If they can go and have 25 minutes of a red-hot go in this last quarter, get a little bit of respectability back into that score, then they'll get something out of it. But no, not to win. OK, let's see what happens in the final quarter. Here's Michael Maney.
Local football on ABC television, round 9 of the SANFL. A 67-point lead to South Adelaide. Will take a big effort from the Roosters to get anywhere near them. White goes into the ruck, taken by Wintle, who got it away to Gum. Over the top, Sutherland uses Wintle again, so good signs early for the Roosters. Just clean bowled Motlop. In goes Damon White. He's been revved up at three-quarter time. Daly, he's kicked to King. He continues to get the ball, uses Griffin. Griffin runs, kicks long. Damasi has been a thorn all day for the Roosters. Taken by Sutherland. Kick, White over the top. Bennett thought he might have given away a free kick. He did. And Damon White will get the free for the Roosters. Hasn't quite done enough, you wouldn't think, today, but starved of opportunity, particularly in that third term. White kicks inside 50. Wilson at the back thumped it away for the Panthers. Running onto it was McGowan. And no one can get the ball out of there. And Ricky McGowan has used his left boot just about all day today. There may be something wrong in the right-hand side. Ricky McGowan. Free kick. Might go to Hargraves. Shunted out of that contest. Motlop just dashes off with the ball. Well, Hargraves has not kicked a goal. I think just the one behind so far this afternoon for Daniel Hargraves.
This is about the only stat north of 1, 13 frees to South 7.
Hargraves pretty much off the step. Gets the last term underway for the Roosters. Good kick from there. He gets his 18th goal of the year. And 61 points still the lead to the Panthers.
Hargraves getting a free kick and making no mistake with that goal. They went the distance from about 60, probably carried about 60 metres, that kick. But not a lot of opportunity because of the fact that the South defenders have just been really dominant today. Benny Wilson and Jared Bennett both played extremely strong game and starved those North forwards of opportunities.
Well, could this be the start of the comeback that Jarman talked about? Out of the middle, Wintle, strong and long. Wilson judged it best, former Norwood player. Gave it to Smart. Smart off half-back, just drives it wide. Up early. I thought gave away a free kick, but no, said the umpire. It was Tarrant, was the man doing the flying. North Adelaide centre it up to Jeffries, running and kicking inside half forward, looking for Rowe, who's been moved up forward. Bennett comes from behind, knocks away. Wilson trapped. Game tackle, and in fact, game tackle too high.
Jason Rowe with the arm across the shoulder.
Yeah, so Wilson getting the benefit of the free kick. Feeds it out to Smart again, who in turn goes back to Bennett. Let's start from the goal square, he says. Bennett's toe poke of a kick, short to Bradley. Gives it back to Smart. Smart's toe poke of a kick finds Webb. That wasn't too bad from Nigel Smart, well thought out. Webb's kick down towards the wing. Fighting off his man and taking the mark was Wright. Wright down towards half forward all. They've got a couple loose there. One of them Manhood. Manhood in turn has a player wide, ignores him. Manhood plays on. Kicks up inside 50, long and direct with the kick. At the back, Warren. Warren almost able to take it off the ground. A goal. Answering goal for South Adelaide. Benny Warren has his third of the afternoon.
Have a look here at the kick coming in. Manhood, that long kick, no one stood the mark and let him run that extra 20 metres up. And Benny Warren battling with Adam Huskis, who, like we've said so many times, is really on 1 foot. So he's played every end of the ground today, Huskis. He's gone from full forward in that last quarter. And Warren managing to hold him off, and you see Huskis hop out of screen.
Reasonably quick reply by South Adelaide. It's Adam Huskis sees the funny side of that. Ruck contest, Tarrant tried to scoop it up. Smith is waiting to see who get another possession, just keeps that ball in front of him. Persistence pays off, does get another possession. Short kick has been marked by Miller. Miller, a couple of kicks out from goal, you'd suggest. Outside 50, goes into the pocket. Warren from behind, one grab two. The umpires paid it. And I think you're right, once the confidence gets up, Ben Warren comes to the fore.
No doubt, he's a very dangerous player, South Adelaide up forward. We see here, maybe came off another set of hands, but benefit of the doubt given to Benny Warren. Do you think?
Do you think?
Do you think?
I thought 2 sets of hands.
Yeah, well, that's right. Isn't that a mark? No.
Second goal in a minute and a half.
I think he's
might
missed
have
it.
hooked it. And dash it, he says.
Or words to that effect.
Another change on the boundary down there, Sodas.
Yeah, Clay Sampson, the skipper, back on for a jog, coming off Andrew Carey.
Jog, well, to walk in the park at the moment for South Adelaide. Here's White, inside 50 with a kick, backing back. Wilson took his life in his own hands. Does he benefit? Well, South Adelaide doesn't concede there. Well done by Wilson. Oh, this should be a goal, though. Here's Hargraves, easiest of goals. Ben Wilson, there's no justice in football. He backed back into that pack, and ultimately it was his man in Hargraves who kicked the goal.
That was unlucky. Hargraves has kicked 2 this quarter, and really, like I said, hasn't looked like kicking a goal all day, and that is unlucky for Ben Wilson. Ben Wilson showed so much courage there in backing back, got crunched, jumped to his feet, followed the football, and was extremely unlucky to have his man Hargraves kick his second goal this quarter. But well done, Ben Wilson. That's a big confidence, confidence thing to back into a pack like that, and he's been good today.
Back to 62 points. Mark Bradley up against Damon White. Bradley got it down. Jeffries with fierce determination. Uni swamped. Got a spear tackle there, didn't have the footy. If Uni will get it. Advantage raw paid. It goes to Wintle. Gets around Daly easily, lines him up. Wintle goes for home and drills it. What a kick by Daryl Wintle. He kicked his second for the day. And I'm sure the coaches' box of North Adelaide will be happy with the way the Roosters have attempted to get going in this final term, Ben.
They may be happy with the way they've attempted to get going. They wouldn't be too happy with the day as a whole. But yeah, look, 2 or 3, the umpire. That was an interesting call, that one, as he almost slipped in the grass. But the Roosters, if they can salvage a bit of pride here by kicking 3 or 4 or 5 goals this quarter and keep building on it, then they'll get something out of this last quarter, something out of today, because it's been few and far between so far.
Daryl Wintle, 12 kicks, 7 handballs.
Taken 6 minutes of the final quarter for North Adelaide to kick 3 goals, and they kicked 3 goals in the first 3 quarters. So that's what their day's been like. They'll get another opportunity out of the middle, perhaps. Yes, they will. They'll break through half forward again, perhaps with Radetti, a long kick, or a short kick at least. And now it'll be a long kick from Damon White. Called the play on. Another call out of the blue from the umpire. And now it is play on for South Adelaide. So it's all turned around. Jared Wright, he's got to play a short. He goes longer to Ben Warren. Warren in front of goals. Ball knocked away. Webb on his natural left foot. Makes an awful hash of curling that one around. Minor score. What happened in the middle?
Oh, well, that umpire has, that's the second one I think he's paid today. The first one to Jeffries, who wasn't at all happy. And White, I mean, that was all but a half step in one direction.
There's the man in question, taking the mark at half-back. Cruel decision, I would suggest, against White, taken by Wintle. Had a man in short, that was Ivans. Decided to go to a 2-on-1. Bradley, he might have been paid the mark too, taken by Brett White, who looks for Rowe. White was dealt with. Down the ground it goes. Advantage rule will be paid, and Rowe will just waltz in and kick an easy goal. Well, Brett White was just dealt with after. The ball was just play on, advantage rule, and that's the easiest goal we've seen this year.
You don't get any easier than that than Jason Rowe taking that as the ball comes in. Umpire called the free kick down the ground. South Adelaide players thinking it was going back. Jason Rowe walking in and laying that one over the goal line, and another goal to North Adelaide as they mount their comeback, Neil.
Well, you wonder if that's right. Nigel Smart stopped because the umpire blew the whistle. You're instructed, you know, you're at danger of giving away a 50 if you don't stop. And Rowe was able to just run into an easy goal. Here's Wright, ball smothered. So they'll come back again. Gum overran the ball. Wright flicked out a hand pass to King. King for South Adelaide, up towards half forward to Massey. Goes in short with a kick. Warren on a lead. Easiest of chest marks for Benny Warren. And just when you think North Adelaide has a chance, they let you down. Ben Warren already kicked a goal in this quarter. And Tommy Tarrant coming off the ground to have a rest. Kim Cobb said, I'm sure he started a long sleeve jumper this afternoon. It hasn't got any warmer, let me tell you, as Benny Warren lines up for goal away to the left, well away to the left. Minor score for South Adelaide.
Yeah, maybe Kim Cobb expecting the bit of bench time that he had. As Ben Warren goes back, couldn't manage to kick his 4th goal.
3 goals, 3 to Warren. Missed a similar one there a few moments ago. Long barrel right into the centre square, knocked on by Gatto. Hanging on to it was Gum for North Adelaide to Hargraves. That's a strong mark, not paid, then held without the footy. Umpire put their whistle away, taken by Motlop, got it to Gum. Gum on the left boot, has kicked another one for the Roosters. The Hargraves mark, goodness me, surely it was. Well, that's a lovely goal to Gum, and that's good reward for a player who's kept at it all day.
I've been really impressed with his game today. He's had a lot of the football play on his wing. It's been a fair dinkum battle between himself and Smith. I mean, Smith's probably, if not the best, one of the best for South Adelaide, certainly. And Gum likewise has had a fair bit of the football. I think he's doing a little bit of a job on Smith, or trying to at the moment, but it's been very impressive. And to finish like that in his left foot, that was a good reward.
Tristan Gum, 7 marks, 19 possessions. Matthew Smith, 9 marks and 26 possessions.
And Andrew Jarman, half satisfied, you would have thought. Just a little bit more of a smile than we've seen for most of the game. Webb, first position, is a kick out of the centre. Just goes down long. Tomasi knocks it on into the path of Huskis. Has a quick glance around. Knows that he's got 4 players running onto this side of the ground. Now it breaks. White hand passes forward. Jeffries takes off on the right foot, goes into the middle to Brett White. On the chest, White turns around and just belts it long. Bradley's dropped back there to help out, and Hargreaves beats 2 of them and takes the mark. Well, he got one, I think, from Wilson on the way through there. We just have another look at this. No, he didn't. I don't know what got in his eye. Perhaps it was a fly. Who knows?
Too many of them around today, Neil. I think they've flown off to warmer climates.
Yeah. Here's Hargreaves now. Will line up from... he'll kick from about, 40 metres. Confidently approaching the kick and kicks a goal. So Hargreaves has 3, all 3 in this quarter, I might add. And already they've added 5 for the quarter, North Adelaide. And we've just gone past the 12-minute mark.
Brett White bombed that kick in. I was almost going to say he's just turned and kicked without even really looking at who he's kicking to. And he's kicked to a 2-on-1. The South Adelaide boys making a bit of a mess of that, and allowing Hargreaves, who was very, very strong in the contest, to stand and take that mark and go back like we saw and finish off. So North Adelaide continue to mount this challenge in the last quarter.
6th goal of the term to the Roosters. White knocks it down, taken by Jeffries. Thought he threw that out, surely. And it'll come back. I don't think he'll have a word to the umpire about that one. Free kick goes to Smith. Griffin just dropped the footy. Sampson comes in. Cool head. Hanby gets away. Handball over the top. They have stopped the Panthers. They have stopped big time. Cobb just held onto the footy. The umpire won't be controversial and give it against Cobb. And a bounce. Complexion of this game has changed.
South Adelaide feeling a little bit of pressure, aren't they, Michael? They're starting to fumble, which they haven't done all day. So they're just getting that pressure, and they're a bit worried, I think.
6 very quick goals by the Roosters. Taken by McGowan, who's going to kick with the right boot. Hargreaves in the middle of that. Wilson did well to Sampson. A man loose. Smith takes it. He's away. No one can hold him up. Gets around White. Long kick by Smith. Looking for Warren. And a good mark taken by Grokey.
Gum had to hold him up there on the wing as he was running through Smith. Gum had to hold him up.
Just ricocheted off him. Huskis, who's kicking with that ankle injury, has been fairly ordinary. And Gum works pretty hard. Manhood was there. Laddams, we know he can kick a football, that's for sure.
Good vision.
He wears it back up. Terrific vision. Jeffries kicks it long. Motlop, haven't seen much of him today. Daly has been handy. Well done, got it on the boot. Wobbly old kick, they turn it over. Gum shares it with Gatto. They're on the run, the Roosters. Jeffries thought he might have had a bounce. Spears it looking for White. Sampson got in the way. Sutherland, front and square. Rowe, what can he do? Ivans was there, taken by Smart. And Smart gets the Panthers out of trouble.
Great tackle by Griffin, I think it was, who flashed into frame and stopped Sutherland once he looked like he'd roved that ball. Here's Smart out on the wing now. He's followed through and kicked up towards full forward. Warren in best position. Huskis, or rather Grokey it was at the front who did well. Now Huskis brings it onto this side of the ground. Sutherland in best position. Further ahead of him is Wintle. Wintle the next man in the chain, or White comes across and takes it off him. White, Damon White, drives it up towards half forward. Rowe will come from about 6 deep. No, he didn't. Opted against it. Not in a confident mood today, Jason Rowe. That was a great hand pass by Hanby. Saw out of the corner of his eye that he had a player on in Manhood, and eventually that has helped them get the ball up towards Cobb at half forward. He goes in short. Warren coming on the lead. Great hand coming in there, and the fist was from Gatto.
Lovely spoil. So see here, again, bombing to Hargreaves, and Ben Wilson with a massive fist over the top there, getting it and clearing the area.
North Adelaide bring the wall away from the stoppage again. Wintle goes back, ball goes over his head. Uni almost trapped it. Ball on the ground again. Fighters on. McGowan, one of those players. Uni was in there as well. One South Adelaide player partly obscured in there. was Daly. When he finally got up, I was able to recognise the shiner under his left eye. Luke Ivan's been on and off the ground all day, and I think, if I'm right, so does he's got a leg problem.
Yeah, he certainly has, Neil. Just got a bit of a cork in the butt cheek, so he's having another break.
Got your medical journal out there this afternoon, Sobers, and it's working a treat. Ball is out of bounds and just didn't quite keep it in, Chris Laddams, and there's the boundary umpire right on the spot.
Even though one of those was dubiously called play on.
Well, we just want him to get it right in the end, Ben.
That's right.
So
yes.
Mark Jeffries doesn't mind the rough stuff. Bounce. With all the momentum, 6 goals to 1 in this term, North Adelaide, but the time clock will beat them, no question about that. They need another 3 quick ones and then some. Ball spills out the back to McGowan. Normally uses well. This time he's got Sutherland, who shares it with Wintle. So they go forward. This is crucial. This next play is crucial. Hargraves, good, strong mark. The kick favoured him. Getting back, Rowan smart. Hargraves, we know he can kick long. Just ignored Jason Rowe and just bombed it long. Rowe made the lead. Hargraves has made his mind up to go long. And the Panthers out of trouble. Kruger will take the mark at half-back. Time ticking away for the Roosters. You would think the Panthers, with plenty of time and plenty of lead, they lead by 40 points. Wright does well. Over the top, King. Very quick with hands. Hanby. Well done by Ghetto. The 2 number 33s go hard at it. Ball spills out the back to Eberts. Eberts' kick has gone out of bounds on the full. The Panthers will take the resultant free, and there's a ardent Panther supporter there, having a bit of a dip each way there by the look of it. The cap is the Roosters and the and the paint is the Panthers.
Yeah, a friend of mine, Jane Donovan, doing all that face painting this afternoon. Enjoying the work. Obviously that young lad enjoyed it. Here's King. King across with the hand pass and then on to Tomasi. Tomasi around the corner. Warren had the one hand up. And my producer trying to mention about that Division 1 playoff for the opportunity to go up in the Premier League of England tonight between Crystal Palace, reminding me that those are vaguely similar to the colours of Crystal Palace, up against West Ham United. I know there's Martin Goodwin, one of our hard-working crew, vitally interested in the future of Crystal Palace as the ball goes down towards half-forward for South Adelaide. Ball out of bounds. And get another throw in. Do you have an opinion on that one, boys, tonight? Do you think Palace will go up or West Ham?
No. I don't follow it too much. No, sorry, Neil, again, I can't help you out too much there.
I must say, Martin will hit me afterwards, but I mean, it's Division 1, fellas. I mean, not quite the interest there of the Premier League. They are playing to get up into the Premier League, of course. Enough of that. 40 points the margin here. South Adelaide still in front. We're approaching time on in the final quarter.
David Beckham to do the ruck work. Boundary throw in. Knocked away, taken by Wright. He's a star. Not a star with a kick on this occasion. He's through for the one behind.
It's gone left.
Sprayed it away. Right? Couldn't bend it like you know who.
But he has been a star, Michael. 15 kicks and 12 handballs.
Just ticked into time on this final quarter. Laddam's torpedo punt didn't quite get onto it, but managed to get it to the centre square. Over the back was Tarrant. And Tommy, you're a little bit confused. You're not playing in the junior leagues. You're not playing across the ground. You look to be going straight for the boundary line then. All out of bounds.
All the skills coming out at the moment, aren't they, Neil, with the torpedo from Laddams and then Tarrant's banana kick.
Yeah, well, he's a Queenslander. I suppose he perfected the banana kick up there. Ball to ground along with Webb. Umpire comes in. Might in fact be Smith who gets up. Laddams was attached at the hip there. It's right the first time. It's Webb. And we'll get the bounce down. Bradley been good in ruck today. We'll get those stats in a minute from Mongo just on the hit outs, but Bradley's been very good and directed them well as the ball tracks towards the boundary line. Laddams, hand pass out the back. Ebert was good in confined space. Gatto off the left foot. Wasn't the greatest of kicks. Tarrant tracks it back. Tarrant looks around. His kick goes wide to Warren. Warren on the lead takes the mark. And he'll turn around quickly and look for a short pass. nothing on, so Benny Warren will steady up and have a look at the goals.
He's kicked a couple from here, Neil, and sprayed them away across the face, so see whether he can do something different here.
He's had some opportunities in this final quarter already. 1 goal, 2 to his name. And Ben Warren lines it up and again, sprays it across the front. Smith came in, the unlikely high fly, ball on the ground, contested, and eventually what's going to happen? Wintle just handballs it forward. That only helps South Adelaide. Around the corner from Wright. Oh, poor kick. Wintle let off the hook there.
Couldn't catch it.
McGowan out the back. Gum uses Jeffries. Jeffries in a bit of space. Uses the left boot and looks for Hargraves. That's a terrific kick. Lovely lead. They've got them spreading to this side of the ground. Sutherland's created some space. Will he go long? He does. Rowe gave him a lead. The ball wobbles through just about for a goal. But he's touched on the line, Nigel Smart. Good work. But where was the short pass to Rowe, who'd made a pretty decent lead?
That's the second time this quarter that Rowe's been ignored and probably taken the wrong option. I mean, he went for goal. He should have kicked the goal. The kick came off the boot pretty averagely. But Rowe probably a bit disappointed not to get used again.
You really detect these sides want to get this match over and done with. Once the kick comes, or once the kick goes through for a minor score, Rowe hit in the head. Once it goes through for a minor score, they want to play on in a hurry. Now, after that bit of pinball from Jason Rowe, possession to South Adelaide down this wing. Wright looking inboard for Clinton King. Tried it with one hand, you need two in that situation. White just bundles it forward. That's Damon White. From behind came Uni. Ball to the front. Bradley was strong. Bennett takes possession now. If he got the legs on this kick, he can find Tarrant in a bit of space. It was a pretty good kick. Tarrant pulls it in one hand. In the box, it's on behind play. So that's out on the boundary line in front of the coaches' boxes. I don't know that either coach will be impressed with that at this time of the day. Short ball from Tarrant. Looked like he wanted to get his player hospitalised with that. This is Sampson, the captain, goes inboard to Hanby, who is a long kick. Hanby looks up, just outside 50, he kicks the ball long and high, and it's pretty straight from behind Warren. Well, it was very close to the line, and Warren read it best, coming from behind the pack, and one good clean grab for Benny Warren. Trying to count up quickly, what's he got, 3 this afternoon? So this will be number 4, you would think. He sprayed them from all sorts of places. He made the goal umpire do some work then, but it is a goal. And South Adelaide just finishing in a canter, really. I don't know that Robert Pyman would be tremendously impressed with his side's finish to the afternoon. Certainly he would have been impressed with the 8-goal third quarter, which stretched the margin to 67 points at three-quarter time. But North Adelaide has certainly shown some fight back in the final quarter, and South Adelaide have eased off the pressure somewhat.
Certainly a confidence player, Ben Warren. Did not touch the ball in the first half and has now had 7 marks, 12 possessions and 4 goals, 3.
Spent his fair share of time on the pine, Ben Warren, but a terrific second half by him. He's back out to 46 points. He's kicked the only 2 goals in this term for the Panthers. Back in the centre, taken by King. High left footer, running with a flight. Sutherland, who hasn't been the worst player on the ground. Been okay for them. Kicks it looking for Damon White, who really is an imposing figure at SANFL level. Damon White. Shorts it up to Motlop. Motlop can go long. Rowe's giving him a lead. Well, they've just ignored the 3rd lead from Jason Rowe. And Nigel Smart gets back and takes the mark and finds Bennett on the outer side. And Ben, what's going on? They need the contacts in, some of them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's not the right option, is it? When you can't kick a goal from 60 metres, they're not making a distance. So why wouldn't they look for Rowe in the lead? I don't know why they keep bombing to the square, looking, you know, when there's nobody there.
Robert Pyman on the phone. You're happy to get the 4 points, but a little bit worried about the way things have panned out in this final term. That man in the middle with no hair at all would be very happy with the way at least his side has finished off. Long, big barrel. Up goes Hargraves. Couldn't take the mark. Daly just fishes it out the back to King, who racks up another possession. Runs. He'll get another possession. Clinton King on fire today. Shorts it up. And Webb takes the mark at half-back for the Panthers. Full of running. Long kick. One-on-one contest. Grokey and Warren. Grokey did well. Even ridden to the ground by Damasi. No free kick. Loose ball to be won. McGowan, Damasi once again has been a live wire, just kicks it forward. Wright, in a bit of space. What can he do? Handball over the top, looking for the lumbering Hedge. He can't quite get it. Daniel Liebert's got it for the Roosters. McGowan normally uses it well and does so this time, finds Radetti. Radetti gets it away to Wintle. Wintle cuts through the middle of Noarlunga Oval. Had a man on the overlap. Good kick, or was it? Looking for Jeffries. Bennett did well. Tracks the footy and just wobbles it away. King over the top and Griffin's away.
Great hands by King. Knew Griffin was there, gave the hand pass away, and Griffin down towards half forward. The umpire has called what? Out of bounds, is it? Yes, we'll get a throw in. Players forced to stop. This match has been virtually at a standstill for quite a while, though, hasn't it? South Adelaide dominant.
I think we enjoyed when North Adelaide started kicking a few goals at the start of the quarter. Thought we might get a bit out of this last quarter.
Hedge down to Hanby. Hanby just inside 50 with a quick kick. White comes out to meet it. Damon White. Big long hand pass finds Ebert. Ebert off the right foot. A knee reconstruction last year for Daniel Ebert. Down to Uni. Inside to Wintle. Wintle inside half forward with the kick. Looking for Hargraves opposed to Cobb did well. Bennett. And now South Adelaide will build from the back again. Smith, he's been impressive this afternoon.
32 possessions.
Hanby, he's been good as well.
Very handy.
No, Hanby. Here's Hanby to Webb. Webb sets it up to nobody. That was a shocking kick. Just didn't get it off the foot to where he wanted. And I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he did have somebody in mind. That was shocking from South Adelaide, and that was shocking from North Adelaide. So Manhood, the hand pass over the top. Here's King, can finish his work for the afternoon with a goal. Does so. South Adelaide kick the 17th of the afternoon. It's been a busy day out for Clinton King.
Thank goodness Clinton King finished that off, because that was a couple of the worst things we've probably seen all day. A couple of missed handballs, a couple of fumbles, and some shocking kicks going forward for South and then going back the other way for North. But Clinton King showing his skill, showing the fact that he's used the ball so well today, and finishing with a well-deserved goal.
Clinton King, 19 kicks and 10 handballs. Michael Hanby's also had 29 possessions for South, and Smith 32.
And 3 goals to cap off a wonderful day for King. Here's Tarrant. It's it to Daly. Kick forward, good mark. Sutherland, one of their best. Laddams probably hasn't done enough. There's the siren. It's all over. A 52-point win for South Adelaide. North Adelaide were game in the last quarter. They kicked 6 goals to 3, so they won the last term, which Andrew Jarman would be pretty happy about. But the end result was that it was the 3rd term that really set it up for the Panthers, where they kicked 8 goals for to 2 behinds. There's Andrew Jarman. What do we do next? South Adelaide 17-17, 119 have defeated North Adelaide 9-13, 67 by 52 points.
Well, a great result for South Adelaide, having their first win of the season down here at Noarlunga Oval. That's something they would have really, I guess, put into play this week, is you know, having a real fair income crack and using that home ground advantage, and coming out with a win, not wanting to let their season slip away, and not wanting for them to slip down the ladder, possibly into 8th or 9th spot if they had lost today. Well, I can tell you, the coach of South Adelaide, Robert Pyman, was obscured in that vision there among the spectators. There he is. He's finally stood up and given us a view. Believe it or not, he is a happy coach, although we can't really tell from that shot. So does his, well, with a happy man, I would have thought, in Benny Warren.
Well, thanks, Neil. Benny, it was a good result after losing the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, look, it's good to get one back on the board. The boys fought hard today, and to run out by 7 or 8 goals is a good win for us.
And you look like you enjoyed the second half with 4 goals?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Sitting on the pine in the first half, but it's good to get an opportunity out there.
And importantly, that win keeps you boys in touch with the 5.
Yeah, it's good. Rob will be happy with that, and all the boys will be happy, so that's what we're aiming for.
And how have you found Robert in his first year here?
Yeah, look, he's been honest. He's been good for the boys, and I think he's sorting us out.
Well, Benny, congratulations on your second half, and look forward to Norwood next week.
Thanks, Sardis.
Benny Warren will go off and, well, I hope celebrate with a bit more gusto than he showed in the interview. I don't know that he he wanted to be too excited at the victory this afternoon, but certainly 4 goals in the second half, a pretty good effort from him. South Adelaide, an 8-goal third quarter, and they really did show up the inadequacies of North Adelaide in that third quarter.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's third quarter, like we always say, is a premiership quarter. And a team that can kick away in that third quarter normally has a good run on. And even though North came back in the last quarter, obviously the game was beyond them by three-quarter time. But again, South Adelaide, a great win. They'd be very happy to see Ben Wilson on screen. Had a good return and, played well down there, apart from Hargraves getting on top of him in the last quarter. Nigel Smart, again, positive signs from Nigel Smart. After a bit of wasted football in that first quarter,
that they would have improved much more. Well, they have been very slow, the Panthers, but finally they've got some good victories, and here's their song in the rooms.
Let's go!
A quick look through the quarter by quarter. As we said, the third quarter was the term that broke the game open. And yes, 119 plays 67, a 52-point margin in favour of South Adelaide at the end. And as I said, you would have thought that South Adelaide would be the big improvers based on their pre-season recruiting. Finally, they've shown some promise here this afternoon. And so does his with Robert Pyman, the coach.
Well, thanks, Neil. Robert, pretty impressive performance for 3 quarters. Got you the result you wanted?
Yeah, certainly. We're very happy the way the guys worked in the first 3 quarters. Obviously, the last quarter, I suppose you have to have a look at our schedule over the last 12 days. It's been pretty hectic, so I always thought that we had to get away to a good start. I knew that, having a look at last night's game, against Port Adelaide, that they looked a bit tired. I thought that was going to be the same situation, that's why we had to get away to a good start.
Robert, you've introduced a lot of new faces to the club this year. Has it just taken a little bit of time for them to gel?
Yeah, I still maintain until you play 30 league games and 30 games as a group, that guys are still finding their feet. Until we get to that stage, I reckon that we're going to have some ups and downs, and that's the challenge at the moment, just to get the consistency.
Well, Robert, congratulations on the performance today.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
All right, well, just quickly, next week, join us for Port Adelaide against Glenelg. Very quickly, I can tell you the scores from the other grounds, that the Eagles have come home with a flyer to beat Norwood by 33 points. West Adelaide has won by 14 points over Glenelg. And, of course, 52 points the margin in this game, with South Adelaide winning over North Adelaide. Bye for now.